All right, welcome everybody back to our next session of Candlekeep Mysteries. As usual, we're going to do a quick recap and then we will get started. So last session, you guys will likely recall, you were in the High House of Wonders. You had spent some time in there speaking with the High Artificer. When we picked up last session, you guys were inside of the High Hall of Wonders or High House of Wonders and had sort of just broken away from him. To convene amongst yourselves and have some discussion about what your next steps were going to be. Decided you wanted to ask him some additional questions, so asked the receptionist there if you could speak with him once again. Halix, the individual that you had first spotted when you made your way back to Baldur's Gate via teleportation circle, was there as well, and it seemed as though he was particularly interested in you guys' experience here and what was going on. You guys asked him a few questions, and overall he was perhaps interested. Some of you guys may have thought that he was a bit too invested and perhaps trying to maybe hone in on some of the things you guys were asking. Maybe you guys were a little bit suspicious of him, all that fun stuff. But at the end of the day, you guys just spoke with him briefly and then made your way after the receptionist came back out to speak to the High Artificer. After speaking with him, you guys were basically asking, is there any way to determine or confirm that these suspected constructs are suspected constructs in fact? Any tips about fighting them or defeating them? All of that fun stuff. He was able to give you some information, but pretty much explained that there is a wide variety of constructs and it would be really challenging in order to define or identify exactly which one it is, just based on a little bit of information that you had so far. So with that, you guys decided to have Brandel cast some magic to try to divine over there and look and see what's going on. It was able to determine that there was not a whole lot of action in the area that you guys had previously been there in the Sewer Keep, and the dungeons there of the Sewer Keep, and it seemed as though many of these individuals were standing still and barely moving at all. Just kind of very stock, and that sort of gave the impression, noticing that they never blink or anything like that, that these likely were indeed constructs and not humans, as humans would tend to fidget or speak to one another, maybe move a little bit here and there, scratch or itch, all of that fun stuff. But these guys didn't do any of that after prolonged viewing and listening through the clairvoyant spell. So being somewhat confirmed amongst yourselves that that is the issue, you guys decided that you would do something that was completely unthinkable, which was actually apologize to Ulven, the warden there of the Sewer Keep dungeons, in order to try to get on his good side. So Ranvan basically laid this plan down. You guys kind of dismissed it and went around and around of all these different types of plans, and then eventually, when you guys were kind of coming to a lull, Philarain re-propose almost that same plan with a little bit more icing on top of that to say, you know, by doing this, you can convince him that this issue is something that he's discovered himself and sort of make him think it's sort of like his own idea as far as fixing this problem or identifying these constructs that are likely in the dungeons. You guys decided ultimately to go with that plan, so you made your way back to the Sewer Keep dungeon. Once you were there, the guys out front seemed a bit surprised to see you. Once you said that you wanted to speak to Ulven, they did send for him. He came out quite haughty and angry still from your previous encounter. You guys fairly quickly did apologize to him and explain, you know, you were kind of gung-ho about this whole issue, and perhaps you had been a bit too over the top in trying to prove this issue, and dropped a few different hints, as such as, we know it couldn't be in there because we're supposed to be looking for this large object and we didn't see anything like that when we were in there. And obviously Ulven, knowing that this object was in there, and you guys knew that too, having spotted it briefly, and then with the clairvoyant spell could see it really well, he seemed a bit concerned and eventually agreed to allow some of you to come in with him and examine this object. At that same time, though, he said he didn't want all of you to come in, and he was particularly not a huge fan of Brandel or Leopold for the most part, but eventually did agree to allow 3 of you to head into the back area where this large object actually was. So as you guys sort of split the group there and started making your way back, it seemed as though this large object was just kind of sitting there. There was a couple guards in front of it. There was a prisoner in a cell nearby. And you guys kind of approached and tried to pass the guards who could investigate this thing. The guards very calmly and flatly told you, you had to step back. This surprised the warden, and then he stepped forward very angrily and demanded that they move out of the way. And this is when the sound of the whistling could be heard, and it sort of gave the impression that something was happening here. And we found ourselves in initiative order. So what you guys discovered pretty quickly is this large object, which is looked like a kind of like a big water tank of some kind. Eventually, it transformed into a metallic construct of some sorts, and so did several of the guards that were standing around. Their arms elongated, turning into piercing weapons made of some kind of transforming metal, as opposed to the guards that they originally appeared to be. And in fact, even the prisoner in the cell actually turned out to be one of these constructs, and he moved to the bars, transforming into a metallic serpentine figure to wiggle through the bars, get on the other side, and then reform into his humanoid form to begin attacking the group. So you guys had a lot of that action going up at the top part of the sewer dungeons, and at the same time, the other group that was left back near the entrance to the sewer dungeons found several of these guards transforming, and they too were engaged in combat. The battle went on for quite some time here with this large steam creature in the northern part of the sewer dungeons, actually ushering out very loud and distracting whistling sounds upon certain individuals trying to cast spells and preventing them from doing so. Some of the rest of you guys were able to use some different tactics to kind of get some things set, in particular as far as really damaging strikes and so forth. Lexi's been taking a clobbering from the big creature, the big steam creature, and Leopold has had his arm messed up very badly, so to the point where it's hanging pretty much broken at his side and unusable at the moment. So you guys are fighting one battle at the top and then another battle at the bottom. During this battle, Philarain was able to cast a wall of force and seal off several of the ones at the bottom, and also was able to grant, before that, invisibility to Brandel. Brandel started making his way to the north. So right now, as we left the battle, there's a group fighting these constructs to the north, and the big steam creature has now been surrounded by a separate wall of force from Brandel, and the individuals on the south seemingly are contained for now, and both Gertrude and Philarain are making their way, trying to catch up to what's going with the group in the back. So yeah, a lot of action going on here right now as you guys are engaged in this combat with these constructs, with Ulvin following along and trying to aid you guys here, as he is seemingly very surprised to notice that these constructs are in his jail here. So yeah, that is my quick recap of what we did last week. Is there anything anybody in the group would like to add?
I'd like to add that I think I mentioned it when I sensed the scrying upon me in the High House of Wonders. And I remember describing it like it was an orb and I could see somebody inside it, but I couldn't make out. But once again, we have been scryed upon.
Yes, so this is the second time that this has happened. Once occurred when you were in the inn and you were engaged with that fellow who was trying to sell you a special item. And then the second time happened more recently in the High House of Wonders. So yeah, you're trying to piece together what exactly that means, perhaps who's doing it, and so forth. Yeah, good addition. Anything else anybody would like to add? All right, if not, then as usual, we'll go ahead and give inspiration to Brandel for an entry into Brandel's journal. Unfortunately, Natalie's unable to be with us today, so I will control Lexi for just the brief time, hopefully, that she's in this battle. Hopefully that doesn't mean everybody dies, but hopefully that means they can wrap up this battle pretty quickly, and then we will move on and give her a chance to step out for a moment as we get the rest of the group. Our two other characters who were not able to be with us last week, so that would be Cedric and Del, who had to exit early last week. Del will be playing Gertrude, and Cedric will be playing Philarain just until we get through this battle and give them an opportunity to transition into the Mechanist box and get their characters back out. So yeah, let's go ahead and pick up where we left off, guys. Alright, so we're back over here in the dungeons. Let's get some good battle music going here. And we will pick up at the top of the round with Leopold.
Leo is in pretty rough shape here. But what the hell was I gonna do? Lexi moved? I thought she would. Oh yeah, I guess she did. Okay. I'm going to try and stab this guy with my touched along sword. Thanks, Adele. Oh wait. You know, it's only like I had a whole entire week to figure out what my next move was going to be.
Well, you're the first person to act in a brand new session. I'm not going to give you too much hassle on
it. I'll figure it out here. Hold on. Yeah, that's concentration, so don't want to do that.
Yeah, and as you're thinking, I'll throw out a quick FYI for those that are looking at the icons. Quick reminder that the clock is a concentration icon. The 3 little green dots represent that the character is currently poisoned. And then in Leopold's particular situation, that red down arrow is representing that major injury to his arm. And then for Lexi, the red angry face is representing that she is currently in rage.
You know, I think there's an arm little icon too.
You know, I looked for something more appropriate, but I couldn't find anything on a quick glance. But yeah, maybe there is an arm in there in that set we can use.
I feel like I've seen it before, but it's usually like a strength boost kind of icon, not your arm is broken.
Right. I was looking for, arm hanging by a thread. I didn't see that one in there.
Yeah. Okay, so I am going to do what I said I was going to do, which is attack with the Moon Touch Longsword twice. I don't think there's. I think I've got. My God, I've got too many games. We flank +2 for the flanking, right? Yeah,
that is correct. Okay. Yes.
God. Okay, here it goes.
All right, you stab forth towards this guy with flank, and currently still have bless on, but unfortunately, he is able to evade your strike.
Yeah, and that all those modifiers look right. So let's try this again. Second attack.
Yes, this time you will manage to connect as you stab at this construct between you and Ulven.
So I'll do that. Bonus action. I'm going to use Aura of Vitality, and I'm gonna heal myself a little bit more.
And actually, hopefully I don't have to retcon this here real quick. Doing a quick double check. Yes, unfortunately I will. Poison means you have disadvantage on attack roll, so I will need a second attack roll to see if that one was a true hit. And on the first one, you probably should roll a second one as well to see if it may have been a crit fumble. All right, so the first one's still... All right, yeah, so everything stays exactly the same. Perfect.
I'll take the damage on my second one. Yeah, I did heal myself for 10 hit points. That's my bonus action. That's all I've got. Done.
All right, once you pass your turn, we'll move on to Philorane, who, as I mentioned, is currently being run by Cedric.
I clicked my button and it won't go.
Uh-oh, that might mean that the scripts have died. Let's pause for one moment here, guys. I'm going to get those back up and running. All right, we're back after minor technical difficulties there with the Roll20 API scripts, but we're good to go. All right, moving on to Philorane, currently controlled by Cedric. So, yeah, obviously brand new NPC for you. If you have questions, let me know.
No, I was looking over his sheet. The only thing is, Adam, I'm unfamiliar with the direction that I'm heading. I assume down that hallway is where I hear the fighting coming from?
That is exactly correct, yes.
So then Philorane, not wanting to get too far from Gertrude, is going to move to here.
And as a quick reminder, Fillering right now is concentrating on the wall of force that has actually locked some of these opponents into a spot they really can't get out, and that is back down this way. So they're somewhat close to you right now, just in case you were to think about, concentrating on something else or risk taking a hit, all that fun stuff.
Oh, no, I appreciate the reminder, but I was listening, and I think for now I'm going to keep it up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I'm going to move to here, and I'm going to take the dodge action for now.
All right, fair enough. This guy is going to actually start making his way out now that he notices these guys can't seem to do much. And next up we move to Ulven. All right, Ulven is still standing tall. He is going to strike out at the guy between him and Leopold. All right, so for this NPC, I think I was just doing this still for now. So yes, this first one will miss, second one will manage to connect. All right, he is going to slash into the enemy and wound it. Okay, and that is Ulven's turn as we move into this guy's turn. All right, he is still focused here on Leopold. He'll start his turn off by making... Right, okay, so this is actually going to be an effect roll for you, Ranvan. So you're going to go ahead and click on yourself, do that spell effect roll, and see if you can beat his wisdom defense. Yes, you do indeed. So he will suffer some radiant damage as those spiritual guardians flash around, strike into him, and he is actually destroyed from that.
Nice. Oh, so quick question.
Sure.
If Ranvan is Spirit Guardian, actually, then do we still, who's got Bless up?
Bless dropped a while back.
There you go. All right, so go ahead and take that off for yourself, Leopold. All right, that takes care of that guy. Move on to the next guy. This guy's trapped in the wall of force, as is this one. Moving on to our sneaky guy here. He is attacking Ranvan with the flank. So Ranvan, defense roll, please.
I get to spell effect him first, right?
You do, yes. All right, this one will not beat his spell defense, so he will suffer half damage. All right, so you roll the defensive roll critical failure. So this counts as a critical hit against you. So go ahead and roll a critical hit against yourself, and this will be primarily poison damage. So it's going to be a poison crit against yourself.
Sure. Why did that make me roll concentration?
Did you deduct your HP in some way?
No.
Oh, you know what? I bet you I clicked on your token instead of his. Let me give you those points back.
Oh, actually, yeah, my HP is lower, but I didn't do it. And there's that crit.
All right, so this will be counted as a true crit. All right, so I will post... I think I will just post this twice. It'll probably be the easiest thing. So you obviously are going to make a Constitution saving throw.
Do you want me to do that first, or do you want me to... Okay, yeah, because that's part of the damage.
Yes, yep. So if you succeed on the save, you won't suffer that damage. So, yeah, I think you're good there. Yep, you're good there. So, okay, so it's going to be just the primary damage. You're going to take rapier damage twice. So that'll be 17 points of piercing damage. Then on top of that, he is going to also sneak attack you, and that, of course, gets also affected by the crit. So that's going to be an additional 25 points of damage. I believe altogether that's 42 points of damage.
That's his one source for the concentration roll, right?
That would, yes, just one source. Yep, so that would be a DC 21.
Hey, we did it.
Nice. All right, so that was his first attack. He's then going to attack you a second time. Another defense roll, please. All right, this time you do indeed manage to evade his strike. All right, we'll move on to this one's turn, and I believe he was also attacking you, Ranvan, because he's got you in the flank here, so that makes the most sense. So spell effect roll. Let me check his mods here. And that is Wisdom. Yeah, that will indeed hit him. All right, so the Spiritual Guardian slash and bash into him, wounding him here a bit. He will then pierce out with that rapier towards you. Defense roll, please. All right, he is going to strike you with this attack. So it'll be 11 piercing damage and then another con save.
Okay, now I'm forgetting how the defense roll hits. Doesn't he need to beat a 21 to hit?
So your defense roll is 14. So if you'll notice your modifier there, it took your 21 AC minus 10 out to give you a plus 11 modifier total, but you rolled a 3. So your 3 plus your 11, 14, has to beat his attack score, and his attack score is higher than 14.
Gotcha, okay.
All right, this will be a fail save, so it's going to be 22 points of damage here, 11 piercing and 11 poison, and you are now poisoned.
I am down.
All right, Ranvan drops down, which means concentration will end. I'm going to go ahead and remove the Spiritual Guardians there. And yeah, he will then take a second attack still at you, Ranvan, so another defense roll at disadvantage. This is also going to connect. Ooh, some rough rolls here. So this is going to count. Let me see. I don't think there's any way he can outright kill you. So no, this is going to count as 2 failed death saves, though.
That's applied.
All right, and that will be his turn as we move to Brandel's turn.
All right, Brandel's going to move up. 5, 10, 15. Okay, and that's a banister, so let me... Can I see this guy's bar?
It's probably in the wall. He is slightly damaged.
All right. Think I can hit him with
No,
the angle?
You definitely cannot, because he is about 10 feet lower right now. So if you'll, it's hard to probably visualize this because it's not a 3D, but this is actually a drop off right here, and then these guys are on this side. And then
How about now?
stairs here. Nope, I would say you'd have to go right to the end of the ledge and look directly down in order to see him.
And then I'd be in melee, I guess?
Nope, because he's 10 feet below you, so no.
All right, I'm gonna move there, and I'm gonna lance his butt. We'll try a psychic damage to see if this works. So,
All right, go ahead and give me
Comes
a
a psychic
spell
lance.
effect roll after you. Yeah, you can post the psychic lance first, and then you're going to do a spell effect roll. Yeah, that'll certainly strike him. So the psychic lance strikes out and does indeed wound him. You'll also notice as he is struck with this Brandel, the notes from the High Artificer ring out to you here that, oddly enough, some constructs are more susceptible to psychic damage, and that seems to be the case here, as you notice he suddenly is fairly jittery and sort of unable to act normally.
oh, great. Did my damage post?
It did indeed. Yep, it's right there in the block. Surrounded by the red square to indicate you rolled badly.
Yes, thank you. 5, 15, 20, 20. That's 30. Puts me there. So okay. Oh shoot. Telekinetic shove him away from Ranvan.
When you were still in that square, sure, I
Yeah.
can give you that. So go ahead and give me another spell effect roll. You're trying to beat his strength score.
Well, I have DC of 17.
Yep, so that's a spell effect roll for you. Yep, so you will push him backwards.
Okay, and then that's my turn.
All right, no pressure, Ranvan. Death save, please.
Are death saves affected by poisoned?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'll say no for now, and then we'll check after.
Just attacks and abilities, right? Not saving throws?
Yeah, not saving throws.
Is death save an actual saving throw?
It is?
Says, yeah, save.
It's a kind of corner case, weird situation.
Okay, I'm gonna spend my inspiration on this and switch it to GM roll.
Yep, okay, yep. All right, so we don't know what happens here to Ranvan as he is continuing to lie on the ground. All right, we move to Lexi's turn, and Lexi's looking at the battlefield here. I imagine she is going to, in her rage state, try to take this guy down as quick as she can, so she will strike out at him a couple of times. Yes, both of those will indeed hit, and he will be wounded. So she slashes into him, carving off parts of his body that hit the ground. You can see almost like this rubbery material hits the ground, obviously not true flesh. All right, this guy's still caught in a wall of force, as is this one. All right, this big construct continues hammering at the sort of cobblestone ground here. You notice he is clearing a path as he has now cleared out about a 5-foot square here, about 2 to 3 feet down as he continues hammering it away at it. And then we move to Gertrude's turn. And Gertrude is currently being played by Dell.
Alright, so turn the corner. There's 5. There's 30. Probably all the commotion's coming from down here.
That is correct, yes.
Was there anything down around the corner that she was engaged in, or did she run backwards?
So she was fighting some of the same constructs, and then Philorane threw up a wall of force and sealed them all in, and that allowed both Gertrude and Philorane to start making their way north.
Okay, so that's still present. Where is that?
The wall of force with the enemies?
Yeah.
It's back down. Let me give you a pointer.
Okay.
It's back down roughly here-ish.
Gotcha. And then everybody else is to the north?
That's the best of her knowledge, yes.
Okay. So, action dash.
All right, next up, top of the round, Leopold.
Okay. Action.
Trying to find music more appropriate to all this crazy stuff going on right now. I feel like a lot of these tracks are a little bit too low key. We'll try this one. Go ahead, Leopold.
Action. Casting Blink on myself. That is not a concentration spell. Well, I'm going to try anyway and see if this guy manages to do anything to me.
Well, actually, I don't think his effect could go through a wall of force, so no, I'm going to say he does not try that.
Super. Okay, so I've cast Blink on myself. I'm bonus actioning Healing Ranvan.
All right, go ahead and give it a roll. Ranvan, what happens?
Unfortunately.
Come on.
Even with inspiration, not high enough. Unfortunately, this healing does nothing as Ranvan is just still.
Damn it. All right. I'm ending my turn, and I'm going to roll a d20. I believe I'm still there.
Yep, I think it's 11 or higher,
yep.
right?
11 and higher. So that is Leo's turn.
Okay, next up is Philorane. Who's currently being controlled by Cedric.
My bad. All right, I'm gonna go into here. I don't know if they connect. I can't see, so I'm just going to come back out here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
All right, this guy makes his way out of the sewer keep. Okay, Ulvin's turn. He is going to... yeah, he doesn't want to put himself over there in a bad spot, so he's going to stay where he's at and keep swinging out. The first attack will manage to connect, but the second will miss. Alright, he slashes into that individual and wounds him. Okay, this one's in Wall of Force. This one's in Wall of Force. And we move up to this opponent. Alright, noticing that Ranvan has now been slain, this opponent is going to move to here and then stick to the wall as he very easily climbs up it, and then will attack Brandel. So Brandel, I need you to make a defensive roll, please.
So he's incapacitated.
Right, yes, good call. So he got hit by the Psychic Lance. So yes, incapacitated, meaning he cannot take action, so he will still move up here, and he will move to right there and end his turn. Alright, this one's still up and attacking now at Lexi. So Lexi will make a couple of defense rolls here. And she will manage to evade both of the attacks of this construct. And then we move to Brandel's turn. Alright, at the beginning of your turn, Psychic Lance ends, and he's no longer incapacitated.
Okay. I'm going to... Alright, move here. I'm going to bonus action telekinetic shove again, so spell effect.
Yep. Yes, you do indeed manage to shove him off where he falls down the roughly 10 feet.
Suffering
1 point of damage.
Yay! Alright, and then I'm gonna double check this. This is psychic, right? Yes, okay. Can I hit him? No, I can't. I can step up one. I'll hit him with a cantrip here. I'm gonna go with the Mind Sliver.
Alright, go ahead and make a spell effect roll. This will not affect him.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Gertrude, Fillering, get in there! Ranvan's down, but I think he's down. I have the guy in the wall of force, so don't worry about hitting the big guy. He's always chugging his way out, though.
Alright, we will keep Ranvan in initiative order just for fun to see him show up every round as he's dead. But alright, we move then to Alexi, who is continuing to smack out at this opponent to her north. She will once again connect twice as she continues shaving off more wounds. Alright, this guy's trapped in a wall of force, as is this one. Big guy continues hammering away, breaking additional ground. Next up is Gertrude.
And then I take it that's the one that's 10 feet down, right?
It is a little bit more than 10 feet. Yeah, so right here where you see this ledge, this is where it's down. The stairs are actually right under Ulven.
Okay. Which one's the bad guy, Brandel?
The one between Lexi, north of Lexi, and the guy who looks like he's sitting Indian style.
Yeah, I would say you can definitely notice that both Lexi and Ulven are striking and deflecting this guy's attacks. So you would obviously recognize him as an enemy.
Okay. Can I see him from that spot?
You can, yes.
Okay. She will use her Radiant Bolt.
All right, go ahead and post that. That will connect. And you just have to click on the word attack there in chat to post the damage. All right, so as the Radiant Bolt hits him and he is struck, this is enough to destroy him. And you notice he is going to explode. So I will need, let's see, I will need Ulven will make a save, and then I'll need Lexi to make a save. So those are both me. And then I'll need, I think it's only 5. Well, let me double check. Yeah, so just Lexi and Ulven will make saves here. And both will fail as both of them are burnt a bit from this exploding figure. All right, anything else on Gertrude's turn?
That's the only enemy besides the big guy, right?
You can't see another enemy, but what Brandel told you is there's another one here.
Okay.
All right, next up is Leopold.
Okay, so the Diamonds Ranvan has does Leo know where they're at? If not,
I can't imagine, no.
Next question.
Unless he bought a special pull diamonds off my body if I'm dead bag and it hangs gloriously at his side.
Well, we're going to do that after this is done. Okay, next question. If a gem is used that has a greater value than what is required, does that use the entire gem?
It does, yes.
Well, fuck. Ranvan, you stupid. And he'll grab Ranvan with his shocking gauntlets and zap him using a $5,000, 5,000 gold gem diamond and cast Revivify on him.
All right, that is the most expensive res I've seen in a while, but yes, that will do the trick. So it's one action, and life will pour into Ranvan as he lies there on the ground. And let's see, turn it with 1 hit point. So Ranvan, you now have 1 HP.
There's still 3 of those gems left, so we didn't use all.
Does dying cure poisoned?
I think so. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take that off you.
Does dying cure a broken left arm?
No. Are you getting ideas now? Hey, Leopold, we can just kill you and cure you.
Why? Not like this. Yeah, Leo is then going to bonus action heal Ranvan with Aura of Vitality for 4. And then also, I believe Silver can move, just not attack on without a bonus action. That was, I think, what we had landed on.
I think that's right.
Yeah. So she's going to also move over here to try and protect Ranvan while he's in his weakened state. And then Leo's going to look at Ranvan and like kind of grab him by the front of his tunic and say, "Don't ever do that." And then he's going to roll his d20 to see if he disappears.
Which arm is he grabbing him with?
Oh, his right arm, the only one that works. It says, "Don't ever," and then he disappears.
All right, so we have Leopold disappearing off into the ethereal plane. Anything else on Leopold's turn?
I think that was like everything.
That was a pretty big turn. Yeah, we moved to Philorane.
All right, Philorane, following Gertrude, is going to move up here and say, oh gosh. And he's going to put his hand up, and he's going to throw this on Ranvan.
Unfortunately, he cannot see Ranvan at the moment, so it's hard to see. Oh. There is a ledge drop-off right between these two, and the stairs to get down are right here. So Ranvan's probably 15 feet below you right now through a solid stone ground.
Okay. So I could action dash to here, and I would say that he should be able to look down and see him, right?
He sure can, yes.
And then bonus action, throw the arcane ward on him.
That would work, yep.
That's what he'll do. End his turn there.
Okay, Ranvan, you are now protected by an arcane ward. Okay, Ulvin is going to step through Silver, push past this little barrel here, and smash out at the opponent. Connecting once. And wounding him. And next up, that one, and then we move to... All right, another opponent who I believe is in the Wall of Force. Yep. as is that one. So now we move to this one's turn. All right, so he is going to strike out at Ranvan, who is currently prone. So Ranvan,
Disadvantage.
All right, straight up roll on the first strike then. Defense roll, Ranvan. All right, yes, you managed to roll out of the way of this first strike. Second strike will be at disadvantage, but you managed to evade that one as well. And then we move to Brandel's turn.
Okay. 5, 10. How many hit points that thing has? Or what does a bar look like?
About half.
Okay. 15, 20. And I'm doing psychic damage again with a cantrip. Hopefully it affects him, so I'll try better this time. Here comes a Mind Sliver.
All right, and then spell effect roll. Yes, this time it will indeed affect him as the Mind Sliver strikes and damages him.
There, end my turn.
All right, Ranvan currently prone, 1 level of exhaustion from falling down. What do you do?
Okay, like the worst hangover ever. He's gonna stand up real slow. I'll pay you back when we're out of here. And then he's going to cast heal on himself for 70.
Nice.
You're just talking to the thin air, by the way. Leo's not there.
Right, Leo's currently in the ethereal plane.
That's my spell. I don't have many other bonus actions, so that's me.
Fair enough. All right, move to Lexi's turn. Not much she can really do right now. So she'll go up here, I guess, and throw a javelin. That javelin will not connect, though. All right, that guy's trapped in a wall of force. All right, this guy has opened up a bit of an area here. Not enough for him to fit through, but enough to burst through a blast of steam that will affect at least, let's see. Will he affect anybody? Because Leo's currently ethereal. Gotta do a quick measurement here, guys. 1 sec.
Well, remember, it's chess rules. If you take your finger off the button.
If that was the case, I think we all would have been dead many.
many a rolls ago.
Yeah.
Well, the way this is worded is it says a 20-foot cube next to, adjacent to itself. So this is what it's going to do, a 20-foot cube like this. And because of the way that it's doing this underneath the wall of force, I'm going to say you guys have advantage on this check to try to resist it. But he is going to burst out this blast of steam. So I will need Silver, Ranvan, and then I'll throw in for Lexi to make Constitution saving throws. All right, so the first one was Leopold. That'll be a success. And then a success for Ranvan. You guys will both suffer half damage. So that's going to be 23 points of fire damage for the two of you. Lexi will fail and suffer the full 47 fire. All right, next up is Gertrude.
Okay. Where did she go? Here it is. So she will seeing this, she's going to healing touch Lexi.
Okay. Oh, it looks like that one's not built in with the roll automatically. Just go ahead and roll 4d8. I'll get that fixed. All right, that'll be her action as she reaches out, touching on Lexi and restoring some life force.
And she's going to tell Phil, get out of the room. It's not safe in here. You gotta focus on the people that are trapped behind your wall.
Now kiss.
And she's gonna step here to not block, and that'll be your turn.
Okay, next up, Leopold pops back in. Where does he pop back in?
It's 10 feet, right? I think.
That sounds right.
No, I think that's right. It's gonna go right here. And as he pops in, he'll look over at Ranfun. And another thing, and he'll bonus action heal Lexi. For a whole 6. He does not have any good actions to take at the moment. What's an ability check? That's minutes. That's concentration. That's a bonus. That's an action. But that's not. Yeah. Nope. I'm not doing that. Okay. That's the end of my turn. D20 coming up. Zip.
All right, fade once again to the ethereal plane. That should be the end of your turn. Go ahead and pass. We'll move on to Philarain.
Okay. Philarain, hearing Gertrude. I don't know if that's Gertrude's brother or...
They are
what,
actually husband and wife.
Oh, okay. All right. So he's going to look over the edge and see everybody attacking that thing in the corner, and he'll sling one of these at it.
All right, Ray of Frost stretches down, does indeed strike into this enemy, and yeah, that will take effect.
All right, then he is going to proceed to leave.
All right, Ulvin will continue hacking away at this guy. One of the attacks connect. And he wounds him. All right, after he is wounded, it is his turn. He's moving a bit jittery here, but he will strike out at Ranvon. So Ranvon, defense roll, please. This will be at advantage. You manage to dodge the first attack as he tries to stab at you a second time. Go ahead and roll another defensive roll. Yeah, you'll manage to dodge that one as well. Randall's turn.
Real quick. Ranvon, did you take off health from that save and throw earlier?
From the Steam one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
Philarain put a ward around you that had 30 hit points, so that would have taken the ward.
I just added that to my health pool.
Oh, okay. Alright. Never mind it. Carry on.
Alright, so Brandel is seeing his psychic attacks are working, so he's going to move 5-10, try another Mind Sliver on him.
All right, spell effect. This will be considered a fumble for you as he has magic resistance. Go ahead and roll a spell fumble.
Oh, how fun is that? I've never fumbled. What? How do I...
Okay, so you pretty much just role-played that perfectly. So you're like, how the heck did this happen?
Befuddled.
All right, anything else on your turn, Brandel?
I'm going to move here and then I'm going to read. So that was 5-10, and then 15, 20, 25. I'll go there. I'll end my turn.
I say call that 30 because you won't be able to go diagonal through the wall, but
yeah,
either
right.
way, you're good. All right, Ranvon's turn.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to cast Bless as a bonus action. I say attempt because I know that thing likes to whistle.
It is currently under that wall of force still. I don't think the whistle could actually get to it.
constantly have to read up my stuff again because I can never remember what's called what. Am I still posting the GM? No, okay, I'm good. So I'm using this to cast Bless as a bonus action.
All right, who are your targets for Bless?
It is at level 2, so I can target one additional. So I will target myself, Leo, Lexi, and Gertrude.
Leo's not there.
Then the dog.
Silver.
After all those adventures in Avernus and here in Candlekeep, all he gets is the dog.
The dog. And Lexi's out of melee swinging range, right?
Yes.
Then if I choose Silver to be able to make a reaction attack, can she actually do that? Like, is Leo allowed to make that choice? Or
I think so.
I think she acts on her own, right? So she can take her own opportunity attack, so I'd say yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Then I will give it to her, so she'll be able to make an attack against this guy.
She will do so.
That will hit and destroy this last opponent, which will suddenly explode. And I will need Ranvan, Silver, and Ulvin to make dexterity saving throws. Alright, so Silver will succeed, suffering half, so 5 fire. Ranvan fails, suffering the full 11. Ulvin succeeds, suffering 5.
Okay, and can I target this guy in here, in the Wall of Force, with Sacred Flame?
I'm going to say no, because Sacred Flame is supposed to avoid cover, but that's from, like, coming up to down. I don't think you can, like, horseshoe it underneath the little gap in the Wall of Force.
Okay. But
He's
Steam can go through.
Yeah, he's using the hole the guy dug out.
He's digging through the hole. Yes, I would say Steam can go through because that makes sense. But Sacred Flame, the idea there is it's supposed to fall from like the sky, and that's why cover doesn't help. But there's literally like a wall of force on top of his head.
Okay, I'll move over here and say, what are we doing with that guy?
All right, yeah, Lexi's wondering the same thing. So
Should we regroup back here? You'll hear down the hallway.
she will take that to mean come back this way. She will end her turn here with a dodge, and her rage will end. All right, this guy, let's see if his ability recharges. All right, still working that hole there. He is going to, he's going to target once again Ranvan and Silver now with this blast of steam. All right, you will both fail, suffering 30 points of fire damage from the superheated steam.
I don't think it's going to matter, but I do get a D4 on that save for Silver. Nope.
All right, we move to Gertrude's turn.
Well, hearing Brandel, she will take a step back. She'll move right here, and she will actually. She'll use another healing touch on Lexi.
Okay.
So she'll have one now.
All right, she reaches out and restores some of Lexi's health. Okay, top of the round, Leopold pops back in. Where?
I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna step down here. Grab my crossbow, which I dropped earlier.
So I think you have your sword in hand right now, right?
I'll drop shit. I'm gonna drop my sword. Sorry, Del. Drop the sword, and I'm going to pick up the crossbow. Using that to action cast Cure Wounds on myself as a spell storing item. That was 10 feet to get there. I'm going to move past Ranvan. That's 10, 15. I've got 10. That's 25. I got 5 more feet right there. Bonus action. Aura Vitality heal for Lexi. For 7 more hit points. Then end the turn. And advantage.
All right, fair enough. Pop out once again. We move to Philarain.
It looks like everybody's retreating, so I'm just going to go down here a little bit and take the dodge action. Don't want to get too far ahead.
All right, so guys, in the essence of time here, is it everybody's goal to make their way out of this room?
I think so.
I think we're gonna maybe heal up a little bit, but Leo's not gonna leave that thing chilling in that room. So we're not fleeing. We're just running away until we can heal a little bit, and then Leo's gonna go back in there.
All right, so what I'll do is I'm going to put you guys all in this hallway, and we're going to assume you've made it at least to here, and then we will end combat as you can hear the sound of this thing continuing to smash through the ground, trying to get through, and you guys can choose to do what it is that you'd like to do.
Without question, I would tell Ulvin to send one of your guards to get help from Ravengard. We need reinforcements.
Yes, you see he looks towards you and says, "We have to make our way to the front to see who's left."
Ulvin, the people in the cages, how do we get them out for now?
We don't have time!
I have to agree with him, Ranvan.
I'll figure it out here in a minute, but I'm gonna count how many times I've already used Aura Vitality, and then I'm gonna use the rest of that healing on probably split between Lexi and Ranvan. I'm counting them up in the chat log right now.
All right, Ulvin will continue rushing. Notice these guys pause for a moment, sees that they're not really doing anything, looks a bit suspicious, but then slow walks around them. And
The door on these the cells, what are they? Are they like super solid, or do I think I could break it down?
They look pretty solid. You don't think it would be easy to break down, no.
So where was the other wall of force again?
It is around these 4 opponents right here. So think of it as almost like boxing them in.
Okay. And these guys are constructs?
Right now they look to just be guards.
Thinking that I can't open the cells, I'm gonna tell the people inside to hide around the corners in case the machine comes out, and that I'll be back for them.
And as you let Alan know this, he says, "Oh, all right, yes, I'll do what I can."
I'm sorry I couldn't do more for you.
And Brad, Gertrude was attacking these guys in the reception area, so she has historical reference that those are the enemies.
Okay.
So Ulvin is trying to exit the sewer dungeons here. Are you guys following him or remaining behind?
Well, Ulvin, you gotta run off. We shouldn't leave this place completely. Can't you send one of your guards?
Did you see any guards?
Yeah, they all ran.
And he's saying this as he continues moving, and you can hear him shouting, "Alert! Alert!" as he's running through the exits here.
I'll tell this person to hide as well, and then keep moving.
I think we should get help. I mean, we have help. We should get it.
Just so everyone sees, I posted healing for the ones for how much I had left with Order of Vitality. Let's just get to the front door and then we'll regroup.
All right, safe to assume at this point there's a moment of time here that Philorane and Gertrude can both go back into the Mechanist box and retrieve Adele and Cedric. So we will assume that swap has been made.
You should hide too. Around the corner, there's a machine. He's coming. We'll come back for you.
Okay.
All right, let Elvin do whatever he's going to do. I think we just stay here, hold the line, wait for too many names. Oh, wait for Ravengard to come in with cavalry. Although I don't think you can get horses in here very easily.
All right, and as you guys are standing around waiting for this, moments after you notice that Del and Cedric suddenly pop out of the Mechanist box with both Gertrude and Philorane entering, you see suddenly the constructs begin to move again as presumably the wall of force has vanished.
Oh, yeah. If I was playing Lexi, I would have taken a healing potion, by the way.
Nope, she's braver than you.
What's she going to do with 4 hit points?
Was this where the wall of force was?
It was indeed, yes.
Okay, so can I wasn't gonna stand next to them. I didn't know that you were quite
I know. You weren't really sure what was going to happen and took him by surprise when this sudden thing happened. I know, it's kind of weird. But yes, unfortunately, you are there. But we start at the top of the round with Cedric.
Okay, so Cedric coming up the stairs real quick and goes, are these bad guys or good guys?
They're bad guys! They're constructs!
Okay. And he will use,
I don't know that ability.
what would I pop out with, Adam? I assume I don't have anything equipped, right? I mean...
Yeah, I would assume you have no weapons in hand because you've just been enjoying this sort of idyllic place inside the box.
Okay. You guys will see Cedric will brandish a short sword from his side very quickly, and he is going to... Alright, why not? So he looks at the one in front of him there, and he is going to... Well, let's give it a shot. Take an attack.
That will certainly connect, yes.
Okay. And part of my... And I get to take an additional weapon attack, part of my Dread Ambusher.
Yeah, that'll connect as well.
And one more for good measure with my extra attack.
Yep, Turkey, all 3 hit.
And the way you see it is he draws it really quickly and he kind of holds it in front of him like a duelist and takes 3 quick attacks, and then he pulls it back into like a defensive position, and he's just going to hold his spot for now.
I think you get an extra D8 Dread Ambusher damage as well, right?
Oh, yep, you're correct.
Alright, I took that off of him as well, as all 3 piercing strikes managed to connect.
Perfect. And actually, as a bonus action, he's going to, you guys see, he kind of uses the shadows and he pulls them around him like a veil, and he's going to go invisible.
And I believe we have that built in for you as an action, so you can post that to burn one of the uses. There you go. All right, we move next to Lexi. So Lexi is going to, noticing that Leopold is suddenly shocked and trying to get all of this spell off as he was running and trying to keep up with everybody, she will grapple him as long as he doesn't want to resist and pull him backwards.
I know that.
All right, so she will pull him back to here. Oh, I got to take the token lock off. So she will step back to here, pulling him to there, and then she will pop up, taking that spot. At least a few minutes, I would say, has probably passed by, or maybe a minute has passed by, so Bless would certainly be gone by this point. But she will stop up to here and face the opponents. Ranvan.
Let me click off some stuff. I cannot find the concentration marker.
Go ahead, I'll take care of it for you.
Okay, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at level 3 on Lexi.
Okay.
Ignore the radiant damage.
Yep, yeah. So you restore some health as this healing magic washes through Lexi.
And I'll let her use her reaction to attack this guy.
And she will indeed. And that certainly connects as she slashes and wounds him.
Okay, and then I will stay right here so that they can't get behind me.
All right, this one will attack back at Cedric. So Cedric, I'll need you to give me, or actually no, he won't. He will attack Lexi instead because that makes more sense based on his abilities. So here comes a defensive roll from Lexi. She will dodge the first and second. As a reminder, seconds can't fumble, so that won't be a fumble, but she will avoid both of those attacks. This one will also attack Lexi, so a couple more defensive rolls from her. She will evade the first one, but the second one will manage to connect against her. And we'll see if she succeeds on her con save. She does indeed, so she'll suffer just that 11 piercing as the blade sneaks past her defenses and wounds her. And we move to Brendel's turn.
All right, Brendel's going to move up here. And he sees them. Oh, Dell's there. Oh, Dell. Okay, no, I think I'm going to do this.
He just had the ultimate AoE idea and just got squashed.
I did, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to, but I remember this it was like a deja vu as I stepped up there. Okay, Dell, I'm going to try to help you with the portent, but here comes this guy at level 6.
All right, burning a level 6 slot for this. I think we've actually got that in our smart AoE, so go ahead and click on yourself and post the cast option, and that should give you the area to target.
And that one shouldn't have the +5 bonus.
He won't, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll double check on the roll, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't affect NPCs even when the icon shows up there.
Brando
It's on me and I can't move it.
Greater bullseye.
Thank you.
Can you move it now?
No.
I can't grab it.
check.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can select it, but I can't move it.
It says all players have control of it. You should be able to move it, but for now, I guess I can just move it for you. Let's see, where is it you'd like to put it?
A little higher. Just kidding. down. I want to try to get those guys a little to the right, please. Oh, it's the purple all the way down.
Yes,
all
it's
the
the
way down.
purple.
And all the way down. It didn't say it's a place I could see either. It says it's place within range. That should get them all right. Plus Dell.
Generally speaking, it does have to be a place you can see, but yeah, you can certainly see there.
Okay, that's why I kind of stepped up in case that was going to be. All right, so Dell, I'm portenting you with 13 on your roll. There it is. And I'm going to send it. So what do I do to send it again?
So when you click on your token, you should have I think it's called trigger option. Trigger all. Or actually, you know what? You might have to click on the targeting thing for that. So click on the targeting thing, and you probably can't because you said you weren't able to. Oh, you can. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Dell actually succeeded, so no worries there because...
oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right, so the rest of them, looks like the rest of them failed. So yeah, so the damage posts out here and wounds several of these targets.
And they get, sorry, Dell. Sorry, Dell! They get -6 to their attack rolls and saves and stuff.
All right, yes.
-6 D6, yeah.
Remind me, because I'm sure I will forget that, but yes, we will include that.
Okay, and then I will end my turn.
All right, next up is Leopold.
Don't worry. We'll get to remind you right now because I'm going to do an AOE against them for them to roll against.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. Where is this thing? Oh, yeah, there it is. That's the remove. Cast Fairy.
Oh, actually, I think the D6 only applies to attack rolls and ability checks, as well as Constitution saving throws and maintain concentration, so it won't affect this.
That's a bummer. Oh, well. Okay, so that's there. That didn't work.
And then with the little targeting guy selected, you should have a trigger all token button.
There we go.
All right, so let's see. We've got the first guy and the third guy failed, so I'll go ahead and throw that icon on them. So just for a quick reminder, yellow represents you knew that these ones were actually constructs as opposed to regular guards. And then the pink is representing Fairy Fire. As you guys know, these are all constructs. I'll take the yellow off. Pink, again, represents Fairy Fire.
Cool. That's, I think, all for Leo right now.
All right, next up is Dell.
All right. So if I move up one, I should have a good clean hit, right?
You would, yes.
All right. So staff of striking.
All right, and Dell, you succeeded your save against the synaptic static, so no additional penalty to you.
Correct.
Okay, yep, you're good. So yeah, go ahead and make your Staff of Striking attack. That'll connect as you smash out with the staff.
Now I'll use one charge.
All right, that charge lights up the staff as you smack into the opponent, wounding him.
Still like halfway or less than half? Can't. Oh, there it is. Okay. Halfway. All right. Let's do it again.
Yeah, second attack connects as well.
So I'll expend a first level smite and another charge of the staff.
All right, energy radiates down that quarterstaff as you smack into this guy solidly. And he is wounded once again.
And then that'll end my turn.
All right, this guy is going to step to here and attack Lexi. So Lexi will make a couple defense rolls. So he is going to minus 1d6 on this attack roll, which means she'll get a bonus of 1d6. And this will also be at disadvantage, so she'll have advantage on her defense stat.
I just rolled that if it matters.
Yep, I'll take that for both of these. So she will dodge the first and the second strike. All right, at the end of his turn, he gets another save to try to shake this off. So again, I'm just going to make this a check that you're going to make, Brandel. So go ahead and throw a spell effect, and we'll see if you are able to... Yeah, it maintains on him. All right, next is this one, and he is going to attack Dell. So Dell, defense roll, please. He manages to get through and strike you on this, Dell. So it's going to be 9 piercing and a Constitution save. All right, you will fail that save, suffer an additional 10 poison for a total of 19, and now you are considered poisoned. He will follow up with a second strike against you. Another defense roll, please. Yeah, this time you do manage to evade his strike. This poor prisoner is not actively in the combat, so we'll remove him to the top of the next round with Cedric. Okay, that time he is no longer affected. All right, he wasn't affected anyway, so no worries on that one.
Cedric comes back from being invisible and seeing this creature in front of him attack, and hearing Dale kind of react to the poison. You see him grab one of the vials off of his chest, and he's going to crack it on top of the blade and run it across. And he's going to use one of his doses of poison at him.
Okay, so you've envenomed your weapon.
Brings you down to 3 poisons, and that's his bonus action. Now he's going to take his first strike against the same creature he was previously attacking.
You have advantage.
That will indeed connect. Alright, you're going to notice that he is immune to poison damage, but he will suffer your piercing damage.
I'm going to try to steal some of his poison then. Alright. Another attack.
Second one will connect as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think it has the poison on the second strike.
Yep, no worries. I'm not counting that anyway. He's immune to it. Alright, both piercing strikes have connected, wounding him badly. He's barely standing.
I'm going to risk trying to move away. I know I may incur an attack, but I'm going to try to draw back to Brandon.
You will definitely incur an attack, so defense roll, please. This will be at advantage and increase, so yeah, you will not be struck.
Perfect, and kind of as I roll out of the way beside Brandon, I'm going to drop my short sword by my feet and draw my bow quickly.
Okay. Alright, Lexi is going to signature Rage. And when she does that, you're going to notice flowers and vines start growing all around her. And the ground within 15 feet of her is difficult terrain for her enemies. So this won't affect you guys, but for everybody else, it is difficult terrain. Alright, with that complete as a bonus action, she is then going to strike out at the wounded one. That will connect, and that will destroy this one. As he is destroyed, he then explodes into a fiery burst, and that will affect Lexi as well as the other 3. Yep. So Lexi will fail the save, suffering full damage. And the other 3,
I thought they were immune to fire.
they are not.
Yeah, I had a fire bad in my notes too.
I think the Steam guy may have been, if that might be what you guys are thinking of. They will all fail. Alright, so that one has exploded. Then Lexi gets her second attack, which she will take against the guy straight to her east. That will connect as well as she slashes in, chopping off a piece of him.
And Rage didn't post, did it?
Oh, good call. It did not. I'll add that as well.
She doesn't have any ability where she gets a crit at 19, right?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, I didn't know if that was with the Fate Crescent or something. I couldn't remember.
Nope, that's just a flat plus weapon.
Sounds pretty cool, though.
It is, yeah.
I think it's brutal critical or something. There is something.
If she critical, she gets more dice, but that's already built into the mechanics. Randon.
Gotcha.
Okay, between here and here, is that a wall? Can I see this guy in Dell?
That is a drop. So notice right here, there's a change in the elevation, and this is the stairs to go down. So this little corner here you can think of as being lower in elevation. You could see Dell from where you're at, I'd say, but you wouldn't be able to see this guy as he's right next to that area.
Okay, I can't target Dell then because I need to be able to see the guy I wanted to attack. So I am going to do a level 2 healing word on Lexi.
Okay.
And that'll let her use her reaction to attack this guy.
All right, she'll do so. Yeah, she'll connect, wounding him again.
And then I'm going to hit that same guy with the Sacred Flame.
All right, go ahead and roll that Sacred Flame and a spell effect roll as well. Yep, that will get through as those radiant energy falls down. That'll be enough to destroy him. And then, of course, he is going to explode. And I'll need both Ranvan and Lexi to make saves. Okay, yeah, you succeed on that. So it wouldn't really make much sense for that to be a fumble. It's an explosion. But yeah, you're going to suffer just half, so 5 fire. And Lexi is going to fail, suffering the full. All right, so he is destroyed by that. Anything else on your turn, Ranvan?
To here. Actually, I'll step to here. I'll do both in that order.
Good call. All right, you're going to notice this guy actually, his body transforms as he turns into this metallic serpent, and then he'll move to here, and Lexi doesn't have a reaction, and then he'll move to here. Ranvan, you can use your reaction if you wish.
Sure. I think Warcaster actually lets me attack with cantrips, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
I don't think I've done that before because I'm bad at this game.
Well, it probably doesn't come up much as a healer, but yeah, go ahead and roll a spell effect roll as well. This will not affect him as he is able to evade this. He then dips below these bars and sinks down below. Del, you might be able to get an attack at him as he's slipping through there if you wish to use your reaction.
Yeah, I will. I will use Mind Sliver on him because of a Warcaster.
All right, that'll do the trick. So go ahead and post a Mind Sliver and a spell effect roll. Yeah, that'll certainly connect. You wound him as he's getting out of the way. And then you notice he slithers down into that grate, falling far down below, and you hear a bit of a plunking splash as we move to Brandel's turn.
Gonna move there, and this last creature there is going to see some magic missiles. I'm gonna send.
From right where you're standing, you're not going to be able to see him as he is right against this wall.
Can I see?
Yep,
Let's see, 5,
you could
10.
be there.
Yeah, I think so. There, right? Okay. So I'm gonna do. I have 5 charges on it. I'm gonna do. Wait, other way. I'm gonna send 4 missiles his way.
All right, yeah, go ahead and post that damage.
Yay!
And I'll add a +1 to each of those missiles. They strike into him, but he is still standing.
Okay, and then move back here because I think it's 5, 10, 50. Yep.
All right, next up is Leopold.
Leo's gonna step forward. He's gonna, using his only good arm, push the crossbow with the spell storing cure wounds in it into Lexi, and heal her for another 10.
All right, Lexi is restored. Moving to Del.
Okay. Del is going to. When these explode, he saw the other one explode, and it was like 5 feet all the way around, right? So
That's what it seems like, yep.
okay, so Del is gonna action disengage and move back, and then I am going to quicken spell Mind Sliver.
All right, you quicken Mind Sliver. It works. That is enough damage to destroy him. He explodes, and nobody's in the line of effect. All right, he has been destroyed, and with no other obvious enemies left, we will go ahead and get out of combat here, guys.
One went through the gate. One's still alive. It went through this gate. Great.
Jeez, everyone. I was just chilling. I wasn't expecting that. Is this a
On your guard!
jailbreak?
On your guard! Get on your guard! We still have that guy. He's boring out. He'd probably drop down to below, but we gotta be on our guard.
Adam, how long does the poison effect last?
Uh,
Until
it's lasted for a while. It's still on you right now.
okay. Then 5 points of lay on hands to remove it, right?
Yeah, you can do that. Yep.
I brought my jailbreak keys. Anybody we need to break out?
No,
Well,
we need help. Can I peek out of the front this door, Adam? Do I see any commotion outside?
Yep. So remember, this is sort of the dungeon. So when you exit this area, you're climbing like a flight of stairs to get yourself to those doors that then lead outside. So as you kind of rush up those stairs, Brandel, and open the doors, you do notice that there is a single guard there, and you see he turns really suspiciously as you kind of pop out, and he looks towards you and he sees you, and he's like, are you, you were the old guy. You came in, right?
Yes. Where's Ulvin? Did he run? Did you see him run to get Ravengard?
He ran out and he was shouting, and he's getting people, yes.
Okay. Send him our way quickly, and I'll head back down.
while Brando's doing that, can Leo listen and see if he hears that thing clunking down or doing stuff?
Yes. Give me a blind perception check.
And after Brandel yells that, Della will yell up, "Make sure they know that we're not their enemy."
Uh, if we need a quick escape, I've got an idea.
I don't think we need to escape. We just need to make sure it doesn't. That thing doesn't escape.
Maybe a hiding place is a better way to put it.
Oh, you're talking about your fancy rope thing, huh?
Yep. And also, are we sure we don't want to break anybody out?
Yes, we want to be on the up and up and do things by the book. They might be in there for good reason. Prisoners, for disrupting the peace.
Yeah, but what about Alan?
Well, if we break them out and we're caught, then
Yes.
we're all doomed.
Well, let
We're
me
not
worry about
freeing these
that.
people. We're just saving them from certain death.
Impending doom, really.
That's a good point. Should we take a look down the corridor at least?
Look, there was guards outside, right, Brando? They'll catch them. There's only one way to go.
You're right.
And as you guys are talking, you hear Lexi say, "Oh my God, doing more talking to people? No, I'm not doing this." And she grabs the box really quick and vanishes.
He's the smart one. Can Leo go into? No. Leo's heading down also to this hallway, and he's just gonna keep. I'm watching. I don't see it yet. It may be going further deeper down. I don't know. I didn't hear anything just a minute ago.
Well, look, let me go get Alan, and let's go get Big Chief.
There's someone in this room, and he points to the first cell. There's someone in one of them on the left further up, and then Alan's in the last one.
What? I will not be a part of breaking anybody out of this prison.
Oh, goodness, Dell. I'm gonna bang on the door. Hey, anybody in there?
What is this thing you guys are all scared of?
What'd you get arrested for?
Loitering
Where were you loitering?
outside the church area.
For what reason?
Well, it was kind of weird. There's like interesting stuff in there, and like I heard them doing this kind of chant thing, and I was like, huh. And I like was trying to check it out, but they were not. I don't know what they were doing exactly, but yeah, I mean, then the guards came by and they're like, "You got to go." So I was like, "Okay," but I still really wondered, what was going on in there. So I came back and
Okay, all right, that's enough. Ranvan, you're the peaceful one. That guy loitering by a church. What do you say? Out or in?
Regardless of what these people did, it's not our place right now to be their executioner. We're just getting them out of the cage so that the robot doesn't end their lives.
What is this robot you speak of? Where is it?
It's a giant steam-powered death machine, and it pretty much cleaved its way through Lexi and myself and scalded the rest of us.
Is it trapped?
Well, it's trapped. I'm sure it might have broken free by now. Maybe it fell down where the snake went.
Adam, we're
Sure.
roughly time wise, like from when that wall of force originally got cast. Where are we at? It's been like a few minutes.
From which one in particular? You talking about Brandles?
Brandles.
Yeah, it's hard to measure exactly, but several minutes, I'd say.
Should I go check on this robot?
Adam, I don't know if you saw it there, but I was going to search his body for any keys, anything like that. Like, instead of trying to jailbreak everybody, if maybe we could just find a set of keys.
Okay,
Yeah, searching the
find.
guard, you would indeed find a set of keys hanging on his side.
All right,
I was
grab
gonna walk up to you guys and hand you a set of keys. I already found.
Where is this robot? You said it's at the end of the hall?
It's at the end of the hall on the right, but I wouldn't go look at it. It'll blast you with steam, and it's really, really strong. I mean, we had to run.
Go up there and look and just get ready to run like hell away.
I'll misty step away if I have to.
I can turn you invisible. Speaking of which, I could also go invisible and go get Alan.
Go.
Do I hear anything, Adam? Do you want a blind check?
It's fairly quiet as you're making your way down here. You probably hear the sound of the prisoners more than anything else, but you can tell even they are trying to be quiet.
I am going to cast it on myself, Adam, but I'm going to use my feet to cast it.
Use your
Okay.
feet.
Yeah. He actually clicks his heels together, kind of like Dorothy. And I'm going to go down to where Alan is, and I'm going to start trying to unlock him.
Yeah, it doesn't take you too long, maybe a minute or so as you cycle through all these keys, trying different ones in the cell lock, but eventually one does indeed connect and you are able to open the cage.
Can I pick up Silver?
Yeah, I think she's somewhat on the heavy side, but I think you're
Drag
probably
her.
strong enough.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna drag her back to Leo.
All right, Alan. Time to get out of here. Let's go.
There was nothing in there, Dill?
Here's the only robot that was in there. Are you pulling a practical joke on me?
Was there a hole? Was there a hole in the southeast corner?
Probably, maybe. I just saw Silver and I figured I'd bring her to you. Maybe you would want her body.
I'm using a spell slot to restore Silver over 1 minute.
All right, you
There
begin
was-
casting the spell for a minute.
There's nothing in there. So if there was something, then it has escaped.
We'll have to go down and find it, I'm guessing. Or if it's gone, I don't know.
And
I don't know if it's truly trying to get far away from here, or if it's just repositioning itself, or if it has a base down there. I don't know.
And are you certain that Ulvan was not in on it and will back you up with your story, not having any evidence?
He was fighting them as well. He saw the whole thing.
He
But
got
if-
several hard slashes as well.
He's responsible for the safety of this place. If it's his word versus our word. Our word is
Well, there's a
Or
lot of
half.
bodies. Dale, there's a lot of bodies, and the ones we just killed, right? I mean, we could gather the pieces from the explosion.
okay. The more we stay in Boulder's Gate, the more I think that we should head to Candlekeep.
Agreed. Oh, thank God, Dell.
we can always just go back to my place and stay the night, and then head to Candlekeep if we've lost.
I did get Alan. Here he is.
Where is Ravengard? What's taking so long?
Well, we probably shouldn't wait around for Ravengard if we're breaking out prisoners.
Well, it's as Randon says quite frequently. It's how you phrase it. We're saving prisoners. We're not breaking them out, right, Randon?
From what? The robot's gone.
This does become more questionable if the robot isn't there. Maybe we head outside and see what's up with the rest of them.
Perhaps we should put Alan back in his cell. The robot is gone. It is safe. It is not for us to determine whether or not they feel as though he is guilty or innocent. We've done all we can for him.
I hate to be that guy, chap, but it doesn't seem quite all that safe to be in a cell right next to a big giant hole in the ground.
Is there a different cell that is unoccupied that is closer?
There is a hole in the ground. I thought you said there was no hole.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, there's a hole then. Wasn't necessarily looking for a hole, nor do I remember what was in that room when we were in the cell earlier, the jail earlier, because I didn't look.
Well, if we need to get this robot to prove it, then why don't we follow it?
We don't need to get the robot to prove it. Ulvin fought it. and Alan is fine in our custody. Just don't let him go, Del. And just say we were trying to save until we realized everyone was gone. And now we only let Alan go with us, but he put him back in Ulvin's care. Just keep him free from the jail for now, in our custody. Don't run away, Alan.
From the south, Brandel, you hear, yeah, I'm totally need to be out of the jail cell too, just in case those bit things come back. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, me too. I didn't even do anything.
I'm gonna run up again and be like, "What is going on? What do I
As
see?"
you open the door here, you notice about 20 soldiers with heavy crossbows all pointed directly towards you, and you notice both Ulvin and Uldar standing next to each other, watching very carefully. As they see you pop out, you see Ulvin looks at you with a bit of surprise, and then Uldar looks and says, "Come, exit, get out, Brandel. Bring you and all of your friends. We have to go in carefully."
Yes, we started freeing. There were some prisoners trapped here. We didn't want to set them free, but we thought it was best not to have them be violently killed without any defense. We happened to.
It's
get
fine.
one.
Just get out.
Okay,
Bring them
all right.
here.
Oh, yes. Okay. Right. Guys, come on. Oldar's here with a bunch of people.
All right.
Okay.
Is it you guys' intent for everybody to exit from the dungeon?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
so you guys begin making your way towards the dungeon wall here and taking those stairs and heading back up.
Del's gonna take a little extra caution with Alan, kind of like guiding Alan out. So like if he makes a move, you can like grab him or both person him or something like that.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's getting ready to run in the slightest. You get the impression that he is just very much overwhelmed from this entire experience. As you guys make your way out here, again, you notice a lot of these soldiers, and it seems like more of them are joining up as you guys all get out, and Uldar sort of escorts you guys off to the side. You can see he's kind of chatting with you briefly, just kind of like a real quick status, like what's going on. I presume you guys are going to fill him on kind of like the rough details of what has occurred down here.
Yes. Stay away from fire. Psychic's good. Poison's good. Melee weapons are good. Cold is
Poison
good.
was not good.
You
Oh,
notice he
poison.
nods as he takes this information from you and seems very appreciative of this. And then you see he gives this sort of curt command, and you notice a lot of these Flaming Fist soldiers begin entering in a very strategic manner. You notice they're like in a 5-4-3 kind of pattern. They filter in, getting through the narrow opening, but you get the impression that they're quite capable at this point, and you can see them making their way in. Probably a good 20 in all, and there's several more outside, with Ulvin remaining outside with the other guards, and as additional Flaming Fist soldiers come here to support them, all they're kind of grouping up here in the area just outside the prison doors.
I just wanted to confirm, Adam. When I cast invisibility, I didn't do anything that would take it away, right? I just unlocked the door. I don't think that would be an attack or a spell, right?
Nope, and I believe it lasts for 1 hour. So I actually forgot about the invisibility, so Alan probably would have been very surprised. But other than that, yeah, it'd still be in play.
Yeah, I haven't dropped it yet. Just wanted to make that aware.
Fair enough. Yep. Yeah. So I assume you're outside, invisible with the rest of the group. So yeah, you can. This is going to take a bit of time, as you get the impression they're doing a very strategic move through each action or each area of the prison down here. But Ulvin does approach, and you see he kind of looks towards you all, and wow, this, I can't even believe this. This is beyond belief. How did these beings even get in here in the first place?
I look towards Leo.
Did you know those guards, the ones that all turned in the end? They've been around?
I knew some of them, but not well. You see, there's a guard rotation every now and again. We try to make sure people don't get too complacent in just one area, so they shift around to different areas of defense here in Baldur's Gate. Some of them I did know, but I can't say how long for sure. Some of them at least months, though.
Well, actually, I suppose that puts a much worse thing then, because if some of those people had been rotated and been there for several months, there might be more of them in your forces in the Flaming Fist around the city.
And you notice he kind of nods just very briefly. I was thinking the same thing, and I mentioned that to Uldar. We're going to have to go through and investigate every single individual once it's cleared out, of course, but he says he trusts the men that he took with them implicitly, so who am I to question his orders?
Well, right, so essentially that thing that we were fighting has made its way off into the sewers or somewhere underneath the town. As much as I hate to leave something undone, Eldar, what do you want from us? Do you want us to go down there, try and find it?
Uldar is actually inside at the moment. Ulvin is the one outside with you. But you see, as you ask this question, he looks towards you and he says, just wait until the commander's back up and we'll go from there.
I didn't realize Eldar had gone in with the teams.
Yes, he is actually leading this strike force to clear out the cells.
Right. Was out of the... I think it's too late now, but maybe the wreckage of the exploding ones, was there metal bits and whatnot? Or
certainly,
what?
Yeah.
Okay. So also, I think my original idea would still work on the constructs. It just obviously didn't work on you, Olden, because you're not a construct. So that's a possible way to figure out if more of the soldiers are taken over or replaced, whatever's going on.
You see, he kind of gives you this like sneer almost for a moment, and he says, "Yes, of course, but we don't know how to do what you did. But I suppose we'll have to inquire at the High House of Wonders, and perhaps they can come up with some kind of contraption that can identify them. This just doesn't make any sense. Why here? If I was going to secret soldiers away somewhere, it wouldn't be in a prison cell."
Unless you had enough to replace multiple places of soldiers. Also, I think the whole thing with the High House of Wonders that originally happened, somehow that's all connected to all this. So, I mean, either they put these people in here immediately afterwards to do something with the individuals involved, or I don't know. There's something bigger here that we're missing a part of this puzzle.
So, the way that we were able to kind of figure that out was I was detecting thoughts, as you would know that I'm capable of doing, and that's kind of what led us to our construct assumptions. So that might aid you in your investigation. Also, do we really know what was destroyed or taken from the High House of Wonders?
I certainly intend to find out if the commander will allow me to do so. If not me, then I'm sure he'll assign somebody capable of looking into just that. And at this point, you notice Alan kind of peeks his hat up and like raises his hand for a moment. He says, "Oh, sorry to interrupt your conversation there, lads, but I must say it's something quite strange indeed. One of those guards, I think it was one of those metal fellows, he kept swinging by my cell and just like asking strange questions and things. He seemed to think that I had something involvement in that High House of Wonders, and, well, it was quite odd indeed." And you notice Ulvin looks at him with a finger and he says, "Then we're going to want you to stay. Come with me. We're going to take you. We're going to have many questions for you." Oh, yeah. You see he looks, and you notice Ulvin looks towards you guys and says, "Just hold down the fort here. I'm going to take him out. We'll make sure we get all the information we can. I'm sure the commander will be back out before too long."
Ulvin, do you mind if we join you with that?
Well, I want to make sure the commander doesn't have any parting questions for you or any commands, perhaps. He may want to ask some additional information, but it sounds like this guy's got some secret information. I want to make sure he is secured.
With, it's just... Leo is struggling as much as I am, because I want to say, why are you trying to take him away, you traitor? Actually, what Leo was saying. Well, like we said earlier, we're really good at extracting information. Maybe we should just all go and why don't we just wait here for Oldar himself, and then we'll all talk together, and then there's no back and forth that we have to do.
Give me a blind check here, Leo, for persuasion. You notice he looks towards you and says, "No, it's too important. I have to make sure he is safe and secure. Remain here until the commander comes back out. I'm taking him to the Sea Tower of Balduran to make sure he's safe."
Okay.
And you see he turns on his heel, dragging Alan behind him as they start to step away. You notice Alan kind of looks back towards you and says, "Oh, well, thanks, chap. Out of the frying pan and into the fire, as they say."
Good luck.
Yes. And you notice the two of them kind of stomp off.
Can I establish a mental link with Alan?
Sure, as long as your ability works at short distance. Does it last long distance?
Let me post.
Yeah, I don't remember the specifics of this particular ability. Okay, so as long as you establish it, then... Yeah, so as long as you establish it, it looks like it would certainly work. But it only lasts for a number of minutes equal to your sorcerer level. So what is that?
That would be 4.
Alright, so for 4 minutes, you will have this connection with Alan then. Alright, so yeah, you notice Alan and Ulvin heading off and following that same route you guys basically took, but they pretty quickly get out of your line of sight as they continue moving on. Alan, as far as this communication mentally, you're probably just hearing like nervous chatter and, "Oh, there's a merchant," and, "Oh, look at that little kid." It's like he's just almost narrating what he's seeing as he's being taken over to that Sea Tower of Balduran, gets on that long path that leads across the water out to the Sea Tower itself. Again, sort of chattering. You're getting the impression this is getting near the end of your limit. Is there anything specific you're wanting to ask him or tell him?
Yeah, I just want to ask him when he gets close to, do you feel safe?
In response, you hear, "Well, I'm being dragged, but so far, I suppose this is okay."
Okay.
All right, and with that, the connection then ends after that 4 minutes. Perhaps 10 or 15 minutes later after that, as you guys are just kind of milling about the front here, you notice the door opens and Uldar marches out with his soldiers coming out behind him. And you see they kind of all filter out behind him. Then he looks towards your group and he starts to approach as he kind of motions with his hand. You see all the soldiers kind of start moving around and they're chatting a bit with one another. Kind of, you get this impression almost of just pure surprise and shock at what exactly has occurred here. So you notice that the commander, Uldar, makes his way over towards you guys, looks you up and down, and kind of takes a hand, this gauntleted fist, and puts it towards his chest, and he says, "Baldur's Gate thanks you for your task here, your efforts. This is a very strange set of circumstances. We're gonna have to investigate this very carefully, but it seems as though you all have some work that you want to do. Is there any additional information you can share with me here before I dismiss you?"
I don't know. Is there? Olvin just took Alan, who Leo will explain the whole thing that Alan said, and Olvin going to the sea tower with him. So I don't know. I suppose you guys will have to deal with that. I mean, I think we are all, no offense, ready to get the hell out of the city, Oldard. But if you want us, I mean, I also don't like leaving things unfinished. So if you want to contract with us, I think we may be agreeable to that. Uh, or you could just handle it yourself, however you'd like to do it.
It seems as though the immediate threat has been dealt with, and now there's a lot of investigation and paperwork to be done. It's very curious indeed, but we're going to have many things to do. We have resources in the city that we can call upon. I think your involvement has been very helpful, but I think it would be best if we parted ways at this time. Is there somewhere I can assist you in getting to?
Um, yes. Well, we're still in shock, but our efforts are to get back to Candlekeep safely. But first, I need to stop at the bank. There's some things I put in a safe deposit box before we go. But yeah, I think our time in the city is done. We may leave in the morning or something.
I think we'll that way we contacted you originally when all this started. We're gonna get another one of those, so we'll be able to talk to you a little bit more and just I guess keep in touch. Um, you can at least let us know if the city gets taken over by robots, and then we'll get the hell out of here. I think, Oldar.
You notice he nods. Well, if it would be of any assistance to you, I can certainly ask one of the magic folks to get you there a bit quicker. You said Candlekeep?
Yes,
Yes.
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 It's
All right, well,
nice.
if you have some chores to take care of here in Baldur's Gate, why don't you do that? Where are you staying?
What was the place?
Well, we had a room at the Helm in Cloak, but we could stay at the Elsong Tavern or uh, wherever you might suggest. I
It's
feel
your
quite
choice.
welcome in your
I will
company.
send them there when they are ready. If you tomorrow morning, it sounds like when you're ready to go.
Well, what time of day is it? We're looking at midday, probably.
It's midday. Yep.
Yeah, I say we leave first light.
Should we just stay at the Helm and Cloak again?
No, I have an ill feeling about that. Although,
We
maybe.
do have one room at Elfsong Tavern, so we could just get a couple more. That'd be good.
Yeah, I think we stay there. I feel more comfortable there, though.
Okay.
You remember
Or-
what happened last time.
Yeah, or we could always just stay at my house. It's right outside the city.
Actually, Mr. Ravengard, um, getting your help to just teleport us there. I mean, could we do our shopping, come back in an hour, and then, or hour or two, and then get us to Candlekeep?
Yes, I can ask them to be there at that time, but not at the sea tower. We're going to have some activities going on there. I want to make sure that everything is on the straight and narrow. So wherever you're going to be in the city, or if it's outside the city close by, then I can send the wizard I'm thinking of there to give you some assistance.
I see no need for us to stay the night, guys.
So where is it that I shall tell them to meet you then? The Elfsong Tavern?
I think that works as a meeting place. And why don't you give it 2 hours just in case it takes us a little bit longer to get our things in order?
Fair enough. 2 hours it is then. Well, I once again thank you for your activities and your efforts here. I will see what I can do. There's no promises, but I may even be able to leverage some kind of a reward for you. So give me a little bit of time on that, and I will have the wizard in question sent to the Elfsong Tavern in a couple of hours, and hopefully can get you there a bit quicker. Thanks once again. And you notice he looks to his soldiers and raises out his hand and gives this really curt command. You see they all start following behind him. And I think,
Okay,
guys, that is
bye.
a good time to go ahead and take our break IRL. So, yeah, let's break 15 minutes, and we will come back on the other side.
Sounds good.
So-
See you, 15.
All right, we are back from break, everyone. You guys are still in the city of Baldur's Gate, having just wrapped up this situation with these constructs in the sewer keep. As you guys have just been given instructions from Alder Ravengard that he will send a wizard to the Elsong Tavern when you guys have some time. After 2 hours, I should say, he is going to send a wizard there in order for you guys to get a quicker travel to Candlekeep. So, I heard someone, I think it was Brandel, said want to do some shopping. Where is it you guys would like to go in Baldur's Gate?
Quick question for you, Adam. With the banking and Candlekeep, would... All right. Does Candlekeep have a bank itself?
It does, yes.
I imagine the counting house and Candlekeep Bank are not connected, however, like they're not a credit union.
Exactly, yes. They have no connected accounts, but of course you guys have a letter of credit from the Baldur's Gate Bank, the counting house here, so that can be used as coin if you head to the counting house and convert it. Remember, you guys wanted the version that essentially just attested to your funds. You can get another one that actually can be used to spend those funds. So essentially, whoever has the document has rights to the funds in the bank.
Right. I think that, well, I don't know what everyone else is thinking, but if we don't do that, money will be sitting in Baldur's Gate without us being able to use it very effectively. So up to you all.
I missed some of that. We were talking about the bank in Candlekeep.
Yeah, we can get a check basically to transfer it over to Candlekeep, and then have a bank there.
Yeah, I would think that's best.
Does anyone want their money to stay in Baldur's Gate to accrue interest?
Yeah, Fred's gonna leave his money in there.
Okay.
So would Dell.
Okay. I don't suppose is Natalie busy? Does she can she answer if she wants her money?
She actually got back. Do you want your money in Baldur's Gate or? She says no. I don't care.
That's exactly how I think Lexi would say it. Okay, so Leo's going to take his money with him. Brandel, do you want your money?
Yes, I'd like my money, and I'd like nothing to do with it. I shake the dust off my feet after I land in that teleport circle.
Ranvon, did you say you wanted yours? Or
I don't need it all, but I'm fine with us taking like some of those credit things that say like this can be used as real money, not having to carry a bunch of money around.
Well, if you want to do that, you can. I guess just to make it a little bit easier for the moment, we can maybe get more detailed later. I'll just take out the shares for me, you, and Brandel for now, and then Fred can keep his money in Baldur's Gate, and so can Dell. And Lexi will take her money too, and then put that in the Candlekeep Bank.
Okay, so I jumped in. So there is a bank in Candlekeep, but it won't give us interest. Is that the thing?
I just was joking about that part. I don't think either of them will give us interest.
Oh, okay. But there is a bank in Candlekeep.
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so that's 22.33 per person. So I'll put all this in our little banking account thing here, but the intention is that we're going to take out three of those shares of money and leave the other 3 in Baldur's Gate. Leo wants to also cash in some of these gems that we originally said we weren't going to bother with, but they're just sitting in his backpack at this point, being expensive but not doing anything.
Once you have the writ that states how much it's in, and then you leave the coins there, but then you go to the other bank, you give them that, then they pull the funds from, so you don't have to carry the coin, right?
Right. Yeah, that's essentially what I was saying.
Okay, cashier's check, basically.
Yeah. You know, the most exciting part of D&D is banking.
Absolutely.
So that was how much per person?
22.33. and I guess 3 silver left over.
And don't forget, when we return these parchments, we're looking at a possibility of an 8,000 gold piece payoff for our chores.
Right, correct. Yeah, so we'll have some decent amount of coin here shortly. Okay, so 22, 33 times Leo, Brandel, Lexi. Volt, did you say Grandfather wanted his money?
Yeah, if that makes it easier for you, you can just take it out.
Okay. All right, we're gonna take out 8,933 gold. I'll adjust that here momentarily, and then if I can also deal with some of these gems that I've got right now. I guess Adam, how I can just put all this in chat so we don't have to like spend the next 20 minutes going through the finances of the party.
Yeah, if you know how much the gems are worth, then yes, you can transfer or you can exchange them for that same price here at the counting house. So the cost of like appraising them or whatever is sort of already baked into that. So yeah, you can do so. When you say you take out the chunk of cash, though, are you taking that out in coin or are you taking that out as a letter of credit?
A letter of credit. So I'll put in. We'll I guess exchange the letter that we got originally. And then I want to split the amount. So it's basically everyone that said that their money, they want to take their money with, we'll get another credit writ for that.
Okay, so in the handout, just do me a favor. Once you make all your updates to it, just put the amount and then put GP to represent gold pieces. And then the other amount, just in parentheses, put letter of credit. And that way I'll know that part of it's coin and part of it is a letter of credit. If you're leaving like actual coin in and then taking a letter of credit out for the remainder, so we can have that clear.
Right. Yeah.
So
I'll update it.
yeah, so like you'll just date it and then you'll put letter of credit for how much you guys are pulling out. And then
Yes.
letter of credit, the 2233 for Dell, which Dell will put in his own personal bank account, and then the same thing for Frederick, right?
Yes.
So, okay.
If
Hey, Adam.
anything, Dell, the bank account at the counting house is all of our names in it. So you can do that if you want, but right now everyone can get into it.
Dell has his own bank account because he works out of Boulder's Gate.
Because he had one open when he was young, his first banking account.
Well, Dell met you guys in El Terrell.
His
So he
college.
started his own bank account because his business is out of Boulder's Gate.
Right.
So he has and I wasn't present when you guys were doing all the banking stuff, me personally. So that's why I just kind of let it go however it was.
Yeah.
So Dell still has his college fund that his parents set up, and so he's this.
That should be a decent amount of money at this point.
Hey, Adam.
When they ask, do you say college is going well, or do they know? You've been in school for so many years now. It seems like.
Yeah, did you get a degree yet?
He's in a fellowship.
Hey, Adam, real quick. Would I know as an employee at Candlekeep that I could buy scrolls, like Ascending Scroll there? Or do I think I need to buy it here?
Yeah, they certainly have some scrolls at Candlekeep.
I'll try to buy it here, and if it's not here, I'll just go back to Candlekeep.
I'll probably be a minute updating all of that. But do we want to just also real quick pop into the High Hall of Wonders and just kind of let them know what's going on, and they might need to make some magnet things for Oldar here soon, or just say screw this whole town and we'll do a little bit of shopping and get that.
Yeah, I think that's good. You may also get a membership number. That might be good.
I'm pretty sure that Ovan said that they're already going to go and speak with him, though. So, I mean, it sounds like, the military Flaming Fist combo is going to take care of all of that. So I don't know if we need to send any messages.
Well, I think it'd be nice to visit and just take 5 minutes of our time, of our 2 hours, and Leo could ingratiate himself with these guys, and it might be good to put face to the task.
So
Hey, Ranbun.
to try to just kind of wrap things up here quickly, we'll kind of just do this at high speed. So you guys would like to do your adjustments at the counting house like that Leopold's doing now. Then you want to head to the High House of Wonders and attempt to basically just pass information to the High Artificer and or Halix, letting them know what is occurring here and just kind of giving them an update on information. And then you want to do a bit of shopping as well. I heard Scroll of Sending. Is there anything else you guys want to accomplish in Baldur's Gate? Okay, sounds like not. So,
No.
let's see. Brandel, go ahead and roll a persuasion check as you try to track down a Scroll of Sending. Leopold, if you're going to do the chat in the High House of Wonders, make sure your token's selected. But yeah, that came through, Brandel, so you're good. But for Leopold, make sure your token's selected, and then you can send through a persuasion check as well if you're going to do the discussion there in the High House of Wonders. And then lastly, you guys said you wanted to do your banking, so that's good. So yeah, I think that was everything. All right, let me double check results here. Okay, so Brandel, you are able to track down a Scroll of Sending. The seller wants 400 gold pieces for it.
Okay, so what I'll do, just for easy math, I have 2233. I'll just take 400 out of that. So the check I'll take to Candlekeep will be 1833.
I'll trust you to maintain your funds, but yeah, that should work.
I gotcha.
All right, and then Leopold, in your discussions in the High House of Wonders, you fill them in. They do seem to be pretty appreciative of this fact, and as you're able to give perhaps a bit more of the higher, use some of the jargon perhaps that they would use, and be a bit more informed as far as some of these constructs and the terminology and all that, they seem particularly impressed. And Halix in particular says, or lets you know that if you're ever interested in studying here at the High House of Wonders, they very likely could get you a slot. And he says, pretty much that they have a lot of knowledge here, but it could be a situation where you learn just a little bit and then they might ask you to start actually teaching things. So you're not really sure exactly how high their expertise is, perhaps beyond yours.
Well, thank you. We got a thing going on right now, but I might take you up on that later.
All right, and with those things accomplished, is there anything else in Baldur's Gate before you guys head back to Elsong Tavern and wait the time before the wizard that Alder Ravengard explained would be coming? All right, so again, just to kind of move upon this quickly, you guys head back to Elsong Tavern, perhaps get some tea or ale there, drink, enjoy yourself. And before too long, a wizard who is actually dressed up in the vestments of the Flaming Fist arrives. This seems a little bit strange to you because you didn't know that the Flaming Fist actually employed wizards, but apparently they do. This wizard asks that you guys head outside of town so as not to distract anybody or cause any kind of a scene. Takes you outside the, let's see, I guess he'd probably take you outside the Basilisk Gate here and head out into the outer city. This is the gate you guys originally arrived in long, long ago. He would actually take you kind of out towards the outskirts of town itself and eventually is able to cast a teleportation spell on you guys and have you arrive about a mile or so outside of Candlekeep.
Well, I guess Ravengard couldn't gather any reward for us. Nevertheless, it's just
I guess
up ahead.
we pissed him off pretty good, so oh well.
All right, so yes, you guys arrive about a mile outside of Candlekeep.
Well, let's get going. I could finally use a good charcuterie plate and some decent brie.
Hey, Ranbun, I forgot to ask, but I've been walking around with my arm broken this whole time. I don't suppose you get any magic left that might help that.
Oh, well, I'll take a look. I mean, I definitely owe you after what you've done for me. Can I do a medicine check to figure out what level of healing would fix this?
You sure can. Actually, I'm going to say you guys have arrived in Candlekeep just to make this a bit easier, because that's going to have to be a blind check. But 1 second.
Did we get a
Please take
short
that roll?
Did we get a short rest while we were waiting for the wizard?
Yeah, you could have taken a short rest.
Now we're here.
Yeah, so as you arrive into Candlekeep, that'll give you access to your token there, Ranvon. Go ahead and click on that and do a blind check, please. Okay, so yes, you can tell that this arm of Leopold's is very badly damaged. You get the impression that something like, long-term care here, probably over the course of like a week or so, and really good rest and constant attention by a capable physician, such as yourself, would probably do the trick, or something like a heal spell or a regeneration spell would also do the trick.
Okay, I could fix it for you tomorrow, or you can do it the long way and wait out the week, and I can help you deal with any pain. But better probably just to wait for tomorrow, and then I'll heal that up for you.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you.
All right, guys. So as you'll recall, about a month or so ago, real lifetime, we thought you guys were getting back to Candlekeep pretty quickly. And then you guys did that detour over to Baldur's Gate. So each of you guys had an opportunity to do some downtime. So now that you're back here in Candlekeep, we're going to allow that week to pass. So yes, you Ranvon would easily have an opportunity to cast a healing spell on Leopold, restoring his arm. Any other long-term effects on you guys would wear off after this week of downtime. Several of you already rolled your downtime stuff, going back a ways. So based on memory, I seem to recall that Brandel got some pieces of research. I think Leopold may have also gotten pieces of research, and I think Ranvon got some pieces of research. I know Cedric didn't have downtime because it was Frederick at that time, and Frederick did his own thing. And then Dell, I believe you searched for a particular item to purchase but did not find it. Am I misremembering anybody's downtime?
That's right. You saw my roll.
I'm sure I did at one point, but yes. So how we're going to handle research is this allows you to basically answer a question. So when you rolled on the downtime and it said you earned 1 or 2 or 3 pieces of lore, think of those as answers to questions, and those questions would be, they don't have to just be generic, but they can't be super specialized. So, for example, you can't say like, hey, how do I kill this particular enemy that you just happen to run into? Because obviously that's not something you would have been researching at the time. High level, my understanding was Brandel was researching anything to do with cults and anything to do with Asmodeus. So obviously if a question comes up about that you'd like the answer to, say I'm going to spend a piece of my lore, ask what it is, and I'll let you know what the answer is. If it's something that seems to me to be beyond a piece of research, I may ask that you spend a couple pieces of research to indicate additional effort, or it might just be an answer where it's unfortunately you can't use pieces of lore to answer that question. Leopold, remind me what exactly you were researching?
I was just trying to kind of get a leg up also for Brandel and Asmodeus / cults, so that I was going to combo help him out.
Fair enough. So same rules would apply for Leopold then, and then Ranvon, your research was.
Mine was about the strange soul coin that I had in my possession.
Yeah, so again, I would say the questions can be pertaining to specific soul coins. So the soul coin that you have, is this one that you brought with you from Elturel?
This one was found in the basement of a building in that in the ruined town where I encountered that dragon. It was in that basement.
Okay, part of your backstory, right. Okay, so do you want to spend one of your pieces of lore to understand what that is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so spending one piece of lore, you would know that this is a soul coin with all of its charges having been expent. It seems as though this likely came from Avernus at some point, which would make you wonder how it got to where it was. but any charges that were associated with it have been spent. And as far as you're aware, the only real way to spend soul coin charges is to fuel infernal machines, but you presume that there's likely other fairly negative or evil things that you can do with those charges, again representing an actual contracted soul's power, or I don't want to say life force because it's a soul, but the power of their soul that's empowering that coin. So the individual you were trying to track down, maybe this was theirs, or they were associated with somebody that used soul coins for some purpose. But yes, that soul coin is an expended soul coin.
Okay. I think I have 2 questions that I can ask because I got a 12.
That sounds right. Yep. So do you have a second question?
The soul coin had strange markings on it, and if I could figure out what those meant or why they're there.
Yes. So you can spend one of your pieces of lore for that.
I will.
So this is a maker's mark, essentially, that the individual that wrote on this identifies them in particular. So remind me, did I previously give you the name of a person you were hunting down?
Yes, let me find this. It might have been Favria. I'm looking at that thing now.
Okay, so yes, this would be the mark of that individual, and essentially what you would learn here is that that person, you've tried to track them down, there was some association with them and a particular cult, and yes, you can say for sure, based on that symbol that was written, that that's sort of her signature, you could think of it as, and that was her soul coin that she was using, probably expended all of the charges, and then just discarded it 'cause it's no longer of any use to her.
Okay, cool, thank you.
All right, and then let's see, Brandel.
I'm looking up. It said 3 It says the whole thing. I spent some money. It gives them additional +2 for +7. Your result is 23, so you get 3 pieces of lore.
3 pieces of lore. Okay, would you like to spend any of those now?
Yes.
All right, so frame a question as far as anything to do with Asmodeus or devilish cults or anything along those lines, and I will let you know the cost.
God, do I start big or small?
And keep in mind, you can always save these. You could spend 1 and save 2, because maybe 1 gives you a pointer of where to go, and then like, oh, I'm going to save 1 for later as I get more information. So don't feel like you have to spend them all right now, but if you want to, you certainly can.
Yeah, I think I definitely want to spend 1 now. Locations of Asmodeus cults in Faerun.
Yeah, so I would say researching that, probably one of the most prominent is there is some historical knowledge of a particular cult of Asmodeus that actually infiltrated the city of Neverwinter and was known to actually have a bit of a base there. And they eventually, the guards there sort of learned of this plot, and there was a big political push to have them gotten taken care of. And for the most part, it seems like that was successful, though there are still always rumors that there is a significant cult presence of Asmodeus in Neverwinter.
Okay, that's what I'll spend. That was 1.
That's 1 point, yep.
Thank you. I'll save the other 2.
Okay, and then Leopold, how many did you have?
So I got a natural 1 on my roll, but it's an intelligence check plus. I guess natural 1s don't automatically fail on these.
They do not. No.
Okay, so then the natural 1 was plus my intelligence, which was 5. So that's 6, and then I threw another maximum amount on there, so another +6. So I have a 12 total. So that's 2 pieces of lore.
And just to clarify for anybody listening, the through another means you spent money to get a bonus to your roll.
Yes.
Right. Okay. I want to make sure nobody was like, hey, he flashed a genius set. No, that doesn't work.
I threw down some coin. Okay, so that's 2 pieces. I am again, it's like I've had a whole month to think about what I would actually ask. I'm going to hold on to that for the moment, and as I come up with an actual real good question, I will ask.
Fair enough. All right, so for those of you guys that saved any, just go ahead and jot that down on your sheet somewhere. and be particular, 2 pieces of lore, Asmodeus / demon or devil cults kind of thing, that sort of thing. And then that way, if I ever ask what was your research points for, that's what you'll know how to spend them for. All right, guys. Well, with that downtime out of the way, and that was a bit of a detour, as you guys can obviously imagine. So that you obviously got caught up in some affairs over in Baldur's Gate, but you finally made it your way back to Candlekeep and spent a week worth of downtime here. So for Brando, this is sort of getting back into the flow of work and resuming your duties. For Leopold, probably getting back to tinkering and so forth there in the shop of the smithy. The rest of you guys, how about Dell? Can you imagine what Dell would be doing for the week here in Candlekeep?
Yeah, so on Dell's armor, there's a big C. So he'd probably try to get that removed, if at all possible. While also he was trying to inquire about the armor that he was looking for that I probably wouldn't have looked for had I known the armor that I was going to get. But regardless, he'd probably just be taking some downtime to breathe and just relax.
Relax. Okay, yeah. So I would say probably working with Leopold, he could easily remove that C off of the armor. It's etched in there, but being an artificer and with the, access to the smithy and stables here in Candlekeep, he could certainly spend some time. It wouldn't take too long to just kind of fill that in, buff it out, and yeah, C has been removed.
Do you want a D instead, then?
No, it might affect the resale value.
That's a good point. That's a very, very good point.
Why don't I just had a throwback image of Leopold forging report cards and changing C's to D's and stuff.
Oh yeah, you can count on that. He probably sold to the highest bidder for all of their report cards.
All right, and then so that was Dell, and then we'll move to Cedric. So Cedric, during your time, what would you have done?
So Cedric would finish gathering the supplies he needs for his summon beast spell, which is just a feather and a tuft of fur, and then he would also see if he could somehow gain access to do a little research on any new poisons that he can try to create, anything specific to ingestion, and that would probably be what he would do until he's being called to go and shoot something again.
Fair enough. All right, so poking around a little bit, and then, yeah, once he actually gets some downtime, could certainly spend some research on that if he wished to. But for now, yeah, kind of rest, relax around Candlekeep, do a little bit of preliminary research. And then Ranvan, what would Ranvan be doing here during this time?
So a lot of it was spent helping the researcher, because he has someone in town who was doing a lot of the heavy lifting for him with the downtime he was doing. The rest of it he'll probably spend making sure that Leopold's okay, to help pay him back for bringing him back from the dead.
That was the group money. It's all right. That was one of those reward things that we got randomly.
300 gold is a lot of money, though. If you want me to pay you back, you let me know.
Yeah, well, that's very kind of you, Ranvan. I think it'll be okay. Speaking of which, actually, one little minor thing Leo wants to do, he'll just go buy a pouch and he's gonna stitch on it I guess a
D for diamond inside?
Maybe. I'm thinking, what's Ranvan's god tier? Or is it Torm?
It's tier.
Or tier. He's going to stitch the symbol tier on this pouch, and he's going to give it to Ranvan, and he's going to say, by the way, put your diamonds in here so we know where the fuck they are.
Oh, okay. And he'll reach into his pocket and pull one out and put it in. He goes, oh, this is nice.
Why don't you take these? Also, I'm going to keep one. They're worth quite a bit, more than you would imagine, so be careful with them. I'm going to give 2 of the 5,000 gold diamonds to Ranvan.
This is so much. Why didn't we break this down?
I just haven't had time yet, but I'm going to keep one so that an emergency happens, we can. I'll try and start to split this one apart, and then you just hold on to those, because sometimes there are other spells that need much bigger diamonds anyway.
All right, and you're handing me one.
2.
2.
To that point, Adam, can I break this 5,000 gold one down some to several?
Do you happen to be proficient in jeweler's kit or jeweler's tools?
You know I am. Uh, yeah, I've got expertise in them.
Okay, give me a. So your goal is to try to break these down into what exactly?
Um, Hold on. So they're 5,000 each.
Do diamonds split evenly into like smaller diamonds of equal price? My understanding was kind of like however big they are, unbroken is like more value. Like exponentially, they grow in value with size.
They do. Yep. So if you're cutting them down, it's not necessarily going to be like an equal division kind of thing. But if you're a skilled jeweler and you are able to break them and then sort of cut them the right way and buff them up for all that kind of stuff, then you can do better than you can unskilled person.
I think I'd like to split them into roughly equivalent 500 gold diamonds.
Okay. So and that's a 5,000 gold piece diamond. So you're trying to basically turn this into 10 smaller diamonds.
Yes.
Leopold, couldn't we sell that and just buy the diamonds?
That's. Is there a jeweler in Candlekeep?
Not stationed here permanently. Again, randomly travelers do come here. Merchants set up shops, that sort of thing. But nobody that you know of that would carry diamonds in that sort of quantity.
Be honest, Leo is probably the jeweler in Candlekeep because I have a feeling not too many other people screw around with it. So Leo says, I probably am the one that would be doing this anyway. So
Well, we didn't. Someone can buy this one, and then we could go buy 10 small ones. Like this one's valuable because it's in one piece. We just sell that and then buy the other. We don't need to split it.
right, but then that's going to take time, and you died yesterday, so
I mean, I've
Lexi's-
already got one, right?
Lexi's gonna say, "Oh, give me the diamond! I'm smash it right now."
From the box, you can just see the box moving.
Oh, the box.
it's okay. I'll do it. Maybe I'm going to do it.
All right, so this you can roll just publicly. So go ahead and give me a jeweler's kit. I'm going to request, so you're trying to break this down into 10. I'm going to request 2 of these rolls, and we'll see how well you do.
Amazing.
Right. So yeah, unfortunately, you are going to lose some of the value here. So you try to break this down into 10 smaller gems. I would say at the end of all this, you've got 6 smaller gems worth 500 apiece.
That's good enough. Is there diamond dust left over?
There would be some, but probably let's say we'll do a fraction again. How about we just say that you lost 4, so we'll say there's 400 gold piece in diamond dust as well.
See, Ranvon, this works out perfectly because you need this also.
Oh yeah, that's handy. Do you need some of that too, or do you want me to take the whole thing?
I don't think I need diamond dust for anything. At least I'll double check on that, but I should be good. So why don't you take all the diamond dust? I'm gonna keep some of these little diamonds too, so that both of us can do this. I'll keep 2, and you take 4.
Okay, and it's 4 diamonds worth how many?
500.
Okay, and then of course, as you guys returned the missing pages of the Book of Inner Alchemy back to the library here. They did indeed give you that reward of 8,000 gold pieces, so you can divide that amongst yourselves. And they were very happy to see that returned, and a lot of good vibes coming your way from having successfully returned the book and completed this task, filling them in a little bit about what had occurred. You noticed that there was like scholars and things here kind of jotting down a lot of notes as you guys were kind of giving your explanation of what the results of your mission to the Neverwinter, or not Neverwinter, into the woods outside of Candlekeep here. And that was, like I say, very well documented, and it seemed as though there was a particular interest in the details of this monk order and wondering what exactly was involved in all of that. So yeah, there's like a report called activity in the Cloakwood. Eventually, is what is completed and then filed away here in Candlekeep. After this is done, again, you got that money. You guys have gone around, done some different things. Your week of downtime has passed. As you guys are reconvening here in the Court of Air, probably having seen each other during this downtime, just kind of talking, mentioning all of that fun stuff, and trying to figure out, what is your plan, what to do next. One interesting thing that happens is you guys had heard rumors a while back that an Azer blacksmith was coming to Candlekeep, and it seems as though he has arrived. So, Leopold, you'd probably be the first one to recognize this. For those of you that are not familiar, Azers are essentially, you can almost think of them as dwarves from the Plane of Fire. They are sometimes known to be expert craftsmen and can create some very interesting things. So it seems as though he is here in the smithy and has set up his shop, and already there's like a crowd of interested onlookers kind of watching from the outside, academics taking notes, and others just really curious to see what he may have to offer. In addition to that, you've received, probably Brando, I would say, you've received a summons to meet with an old friend, one of the heads here in Candlekeep, and she's asked for you to bring your team to the Pillars of Pedagogy to speak to her when you're available.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the note, courier. Thank you. Have a good day.
And that's
Do I
the
have the
end.
name?
Randall never tells us.
No, I just kind of keep the note because you guys. I'm assuming you're interested in these fiery dwarf guys.
Yeah, I'm sure he's all up in there checking it out.
Or do you want to go to a hour meeting?
Oh boy. You can come and tell Leo. It's okay. I'll sit through the meeting.
I could send you an email. What do you want to do?
Actually, Leo, I could really use a new breastplate. I think if I'm going to protect you guys, probably should have a little bit more armor than this leather.
Sure. I bet it would take a while to make a breastplate, Adam.
It would indeed, yeah. So that would certainly not be something you could do alongside the downtime you already did.
No, I was saying, no offense, but maybe he's got one for me to buy.
Maybe. There's a smithy here, so he would at least.
Well, maybe me and you go check it out.
Oh, well, the guy, he's here. He might have something actually. The Azorian.
Yep. Let's go check it out.
Hey, I don't want to cut in, but I was also interested, if you don't mind me tagging along.
Yes, that sounds great.
I'll be in my room.
All right, so you guys are sort of breaking up a little bit here as you guys have spent a bit of time, and you wish to, some of you wish to head over to the smithy and stables to inquire after the Azer blacksmith.
Yeah.
All right, if you're heading to the stables, just go ahead and move your token over there just so I know exactly who's going to be there. All right, looks like, all right, there's the group. Yeah, so as you guys make your way over, of course, Brando goes to the bathhouse. All right, so yes, as you guys make your way to the over to the smithy and stables, you notice that there is quite a long line. Most of these academic folks, you can see them dressed up in like robes or other fine linens. They seem to be staying at a distance, though, watching just very curiously. You can hear a conversation going back and forth between each other, and you hear one of them looks to his colleague and says, "Oh, I actually learned Ignan back several years ago. I bet you if I speak to him that way, he'd be much more receptive to any requests." And you hear the other guy looks to her and says, "I don't know. It seems as though he has just got a very fiery temper." The first guy says, "Aha, pun, well done."
Actually, hearing all this, Leo's going to look back at the rest. Do any of you speak Ignan? Is that primordial?
No, I speak giant. You think he speaks that?
He might actually not like that at all.
Is it
Ren
like
Vondel?
infernal?
I don't think so. I think sounds like fire sounds, I think.
Um, Dello established the mental link with him.
Well, sometimes that scares people, Dill.
With the Acer blacksmith?
Yeah.
Go ahead and post that for me one more time. I just want to check and see what the parameters of that were. Okay, yeah, so you're within 30 feet of him. You reach out with your mind and form this connection, and yes, it seems as though you are connected.
Hello, good sir. I'm the half elf standing in front of you. I have powers that grant me um, communication through the mind. How are you today?
And you hear his voice comes through, and it sounds very, very basic, at least mentally, anyhow. And he says, I am quite busy at the moment. What do you need?
Guys, what do we need? I established my link to him so we can communicate.
Breastplate, if he's got it.
Um, Good sir, do you have a breastplate?
Of course.
How much?
And you notice he sort of looks up towards these other people, kind of like slammed around him, and he says, give me a moment.
He's gonna figure out how much. He does have one.
Nice. And I assume Leopold wants to know about anything fancy.
Actually, yes. Does he have the magic things? Otherwise, I do want some half plate.
Have plate and magic things? I'll ask him when he gets back.
Yeah, if he's traveling around, he must have some kind of curio, right?
All right, he finishes up a bit here with some of these folks, and then he turns back and looks back over to you, Tadell, and you hear once again the connection in your head say, I can sell you a fine crafted breastplate for 600 gold pieces.
A fine crafted breastplate for 600 gold pieces.
Yeah, that sounds good.
We have a deal. This is the gentleman that would like that.
And you notice he motions with his hand and kind of like almost shooing away flies, and you see some of these people nearby him start to scat and allow like a little bit of a line to form so you can get through, and he motions for you to approach.
Yeah, I'll step forward.
And he looks to you now, and speaking out loud as he looks towards you here, Cedric, he says, You're the one that wants the breastplate.
Yep, that'd be me. You said 550, right?
600 gold pieces for this fine crafted dark steel breastplate.
Yeah, that'll work for me. Yeah, I'll count your gold.
You put the coins down on this little counter he's behind?
Yeah.
All right, you see he looks at it, counts it up just really quickly, scoots it off, starts moving around behind this little area. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of space back here, so there is a forge nearby, but like what he has actually brought, you can hear him like fiddling with a trunk, but that's about it. And then you see he pulls out a breastplate that looked to be made of very dark metal, and you see he sets it down, kind of takes a rag out and just buffs it, shines it really quick, does a really quick inspection of it, and then he hands it over to you.
Thank you. I also believe my friend wanted to spend some coin.
He turns and looks, and who is the next person that stands up? Is this Leopold that's looking for something else?
Yeah. One, do you have any of the any magic items? Those magic armors, maybe?
I am particularly skilled in fusing flame to weapons or granting protection against fire to armors.
Oh, that's not bad. How about some fire protection armor?
Do you have a suit of armor you wish to be imbued with this power, or are you purchasing?
How much would a suit of half plate run me from you?
Half plate with fire protection upon it. Quite expensive.
I'm gathering. I just figured I'd ask though.
How much to infuse armor with this fire protection?
It is expensive, as I said, but it depends on what you have. I assume, you see, he kind of looks you up and down. I assume you are individuals of some wealth.
Yes, if I were to have you um, enchant my plate armor.
Yes, I can do that. Let me see. Let me check and see exactly how much of my materials I have. That will depend on the cost. All right, yeah. So you notice he starts checking through this trunk that's behind the counter. You can hear the sound. You can hear the sound of fiddling through, almost like metal rings, objects, that kind of thing, kind of like clanking into one another, or banging back and forth, kind of thing. Looks, seems kind of strange altogether, but you kind of get the impression based on your experience so far that maybe this is something along the lines of like a trunk of holding or something like that.
Not bad.
Okay, so yeah, so you're wanting to get full plate with the fire protection. So yes, he can do that for you. That would be Dell. Go ahead and roll me 2d10, please. He tells you that he can imbue this fiery protection into your full plate for 14,000 gold pieces.
Well, good sir, I'm sure it's worth every gold piece. But I think I'll be okay for now.
He nods and then looks at the others of you gathered here, looking particularly at Leopold. Does any of my fine craftsmanship interest you?
It does. I just hearing that price, I think probably excludes me from getting the fire protection. But do you have a suit of half plate that I could purchase?
Yes, fine, dark steel, half plate armor. I could sell that to you for 1,400 gold pieces.
It's a little above market value, but I'm also not
Market
wanting
value. This armor is crafted on the plane of fire in the deep wells of flame.
to. Right. It does look fancy, so I'll purchase that from you, please.
All right, and once again, you see he pulls out this from the trunk, this suit of half-plate armor of this very dark steel. He takes a look at it real quick, inspecting it, buffing it just like he did with the other one. You get the impression of someone who's very apt to want to sell only the best objects or best material equipment that he has, and then he hands it over to you after collecting the 1,400 gold pieces from you.
Okay.
Do you have any shields, good sir?
Of course.
Do the shields offer the same fire protection that the armor would?
If you wish to buy a shield of fiery protection, I can sell you one for 14,000 gold pieces.
I mean, that doesn't sound half bad. Mechanically, is that like resistance?
Yes.
What are you thinking, Dell? Are you interested in that?
Uh, for that kind of money, I think I'll just suffer a little bit longer in Brandal's fireballs.
Well, said 1400, right?
14,000.
Oh,
Yeah, it's funny. I heard 14,000 too, and I was like, did I hear that wrong?
you don't do like payment plans or anything, right? Because if I didn't have that much, is there like something, an agreement we could come to? Maybe I tell everyone about how great your shop is.
You notice he has this look on his face that is not really shocked or bewildered because his place is mostly made up of fire. You can see it's like a very strange contortion here being an Azer, but you see that he doesn't look like he's intrigued by this in the slightest. I am not in many places for long. I cannot do payment plans.
How much would 2 soul coins knock off that price?
I don't deal in that kind of material.
Well, I mean, I can't argue that your things are nice. They're a little all above our price range. What do you have on the much cheaper side? Maybe 10 times less expensive than that. I mean, it is very high quality. I can tell.
I have armor of the finest make, much like I just sold to your friends here. Breastplate, half plate, fine dark steel, forged on the elemental plane of fire. If you want any type of metal armor of the same quality, I can sell it to you.
I think I'm good with the plate I have right now, and he'll tap his fist on it.
And you notice he just sort of nods as he looks around to see if anybody else is interested in his services.
Have you come across anyone that is willing to spend 14,000 on your enchantment?
Yes, quite frequently. I was told that Candlekeep had some of the greatest heroes of this land. Perhaps they have yet to come.
Now, in our defense, we were in hell, and there's not really coin down there. So, I mean, we have some catching up still to do.
Can I insight that response?
Yeah, you can sure try. Go ahead and give me a blind check. Yeah, again, it's hard to read him. He's not human, and he's got a very I don't want to say unnatural, but he is technically an elemental is his type, so it's hard to get a good read on him, but you have no reason to doubt what he's saying.
Do you by chance have a cane?
A cane? You mean like
Mhm.
a wooden object to help a human walk?
Maybe not wooden, but a metal cane to help a human walk, yes.
I could probably fashion something of that. I have pieces of metal that I fashion into other things. I suppose I could make a metal cane.
And how much would you sell that for?
And just to make sure we're on the same page here, what you're looking for is essentially it's not a weapon. It's not something you'd be looking to have particular mechanical effects.
Correct. It's like a black steel cane for Brandel.
Okay. Yeah, you're going to notice he kind of shifts through all of his belongings once again, looks back and says, I can make you a dark steel cane for 50 gold pieces.
I hand him, you said 50?
Yes, 50.
Okay, I'll hand him 60 and can you put some fine engraving along the shaft?
What would you like?
Um, Fire and brimstone?
He looks at you a little bit uneasy, but nods.
Do you think Fire and Brimstone is like the live, laugh, love of where he comes from?
It's on his walls.
It's on his wall, every kitchen. It's in their place.
As he takes this piece of black metal out, you notice he actually cups his hand. It's sort of like a circle, like you would put up to your eye to see better, and he runs this hand alongside the piece of metal, and you can just see fire kind of coming off of it and melting part of this metal very slowly. And he very finally kind of goes up and down, up and down, up and down, and eventually you see he's looking at it, making sure it's balanced perfectly, making sure there's no rough edges or anything along those lines. And then you see he just takes a fingernail, pulling off this big heavy gauntlet, and you can see it almost looks like molten lava is his fingernail, and he just kind of starts etching into it very finely as he writes fire and brimstone down the shaft of the cane. Once this is done, you see he looks at it once again with his eyes very close and finally does a whew, and then he hands it over to you.
Thank you, and here's your 60.
It's actually quite hot in your hands, and you realize him being fire probably didn't even realize, so you kind of have to hot potato it for a minute. But yeah, eventually it's just fine, and he takes your 60 gold.
All right.
To update everyone, and it's the last time I'll talk about it in this session, the counting house thing I think is fully worked in. There is 12,865 in the Candlekeep Bank. There's 6,632 between Dell and Frederick's banks in Boulder's Gate. We sold all the gems. We put the Candlekeep reward money split evenly amongst all of us in coins, so we all have 1333, which I know Leo just spent most of that just now. Just so everyone's aware, it's all in the handout. Everything's good. Carry on. Thank you.
And thank you for that.
I feel like I've got one of those counting house visors on, and I've been like hitting a number pad with the paper wrap in it for this whole time while we've been messing around. Hey, where did Brandel go? Isn't he around here somewhere?
Said something about returning to his room. Join him for tea later. I don't know.
I saw him walk off towards the bathhouse. Yeah, I don't know. Might just be sleeping. He's getting old, you know. If you have something that you want to say to him, maybe now's the time before it's too late.
You never know. And also, when he does finally kick the bucket, he'll be going down there until we figure that out.
Oh yeah, they usually say he's in a better place, but you really can't say that for him.
I don't think that'll be the case. Oh, here he comes. Wow, look, he's moving really fast.
Hello, friends. Oh, I
Hello.
just had a refreshing bath and a nice walk in the gardens. Isn't this place beautiful?
Came from the other direction.
Brandel, I got you a cane to aid with your walking. You say your knees hurt. Well, here's a black steel cane and etched with fire and brimstone for you.
Oh,
Here.
oh, it's wonderful. How does it look? Thank you so much.
I'm sure if you needed to, you could squash a few bugs with it.
Oh, it's great. Do you know they have pudding in the restaurant? It's quite nice. I was just having a walk over there. Thank you.
All right, so to quickly confirm, you guys are done here with Aesir Blacksmith, and you're heading out and sort of back into the Court of Air and just discussing amongst yourselves, correct?
Yeah.
And doing a quick confirmation, nobody else has further business with the Aesir Blacksmith.
Not unless he's ready to work for exposure.
No, but I will not remember this, so I'm going to just tell you guys this now, but I was just making sure that this doesn't change anybody's decisions. But those of you that just purchased the black steel armor, that does make you immune to the heat metal spell if it is targeted. That armor is targeted by the heat metal spell. So go ahead and jot that down on your sheet somewhere, that that particular piece of armor cannot be affected by heat metal.
Well, now that's. I'm glad I didn't really press the point on that being over market value. Cool.
Hey, Adam, that cane, I just have a normal quarterstaff. Can that be my, can I use that as a quarterstaff or no?
It won't work as a quarterstaff because it's not actually a weapon. It would just do like 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Oh. I have no use for my quarterstaff. There's nothing on it that's special.
That's because you've traded the last 3 magic quarterstaffs that you got.
That's true. It's true. I can't hit anything.
Wow, is this from God? Let's barter.
That's true. I gave it to Dell, right? The last one I kind of found.
Yeah. Good sir. What would it take to turn this cane into a staff?
Well, quarterstaffs are usually made of wood, but I think he could probably do something for you here. Let me just get you a price. Because obviously this is not being impacted by what I just told you guys, so that's okay. We can do a quick shift here. He will upgrade it to a quarterstaff for 10 extra gold pieces.
Done.
Oh.
All right, so that takes him
cool.
just like 5 minutes or so. But yeah, you see he reshapes it, makes it a bit thinner but longer, and then eventually hands it back to you.
Oh, now I have a steel quarterstaff with fire and brimstone written along the shaft. Oh, it's perfect.
It looks good on you.
It's finally a quarterstaff that's worth keeping. Sorry, Adam.
No, that's okay. I'm just waiting to read that in Brandel's journal one day. So I traded my next quarterstaff for...
This +3 quarterstaff. I don't need it.
How
All right.
sentimental does it have to be before Brando will not pawn it?
All right, now that you guys have accomplished your work here with the Azer Blacksmith, is there anything else you'd like to do? You still have this request to meet with Sylvia Savicus at the Pillars of Pedagogy to the north there, but unless there's anything else you guys want to do, you can certainly follow up on that.
Well, they don't know about it quite yet.
Well, maybe that was the push that, hey, let them know about that.
I know. We all we're all together. Have we done shopping? That short fiery man seemed pretty resourceful. Are we done shopping?
I think so.
Excellent. So, while you were bartering and I was soaking my weary bones and taking a walk in the gardens, I received a courier letter to meet Sylvia at the Pillars of Pedagogy, and we should probably head over there if you have the courage to sit through an hour meeting, probably.
Oh, what now? Did they lose another one?
I don't know. These meetings can take on forever. So just make sure you're hydrated and and enough calories so you don't feel lethargic.
Don't we have an alchemy jug? We can make some sandwiches or mayonnaise with that.
You could have done that at level 2.
It's valuable. Never mind. We'll just go.
All right, let's go. It's just this way. I'll show you. And I'm waving at people as I walk across. Oh, hey, Gerald, how's it going? Oh, good. Nice to see you. Yes.
Indeed, yeah. Several folks here in Candlekeep would recognize Brandel and give friendly greetings to him as well.
Are you flaunting your new staff?
Oh, yeah. I'm putting it right out in front of me. Just like, boom, boom, fire and brimstone. That's awesome.
All right,
Well,
you guys.
you did survive hell.
You guys make your way over to the Pillars of Pedagogy and head on in through the doors there. This is what you guys would know as a place that's sort of comfortable, that folks that come here to Candlekeep and request books are allowed to read them here, as people are not allowed to take the books. You guys head on in, and before too long you spot Sylvia Savicus in the back, and you see she just kind of motions for you to approach, and there's this kind of little area that's a bit more private here that she's kind of cordoned herself off in. That copy does not want to work, so I'll go ahead and get rid of that one. But yeah, so you guys managed to... I assume you're just heading back to speak with Silvira?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, as you do so, you see she's sitting kind of by this fairly large table, and she offers you, with a motion of her hand, to sit nearby her as well. You notice a particular square-shaped object that is covered by like a sheet of felt, and she, sort of waits for you all to sit, and then she looks at you, kind of looking you all up and down for just a moment before she begins to speak.
Before you speak, is that still the item we found at Baldur's Gate?
No.
The puzzle box?
No, it is not. I'm afraid it's something else. You notice her mood is dark as she begins to pace before you. Mayastin Sadar, one of our finest sages, had been studying a particular tome held in the vaults. So saying, you see she gestures towards this large object that is covered by the felt. It's book-shaped, and you see she actually steps up and pulls the felt back a bit, where you notice the cover of the book appears to be made of translucent crystal.
Oof. That's quite fancy.
It's very fancy quality.
Any writings on there? Can I see?
Not on the cover, but through the translucent cover, you can make out some legible writing underneath.
Have you read the text, Silveria? I can see it here.
She nods, yes, and she says, "Indeed I have. I'm afraid to report that it is a treatise on dark rituals. It is nothing that should really be here in Candlekeep, but it arrived as a donation from a high priest of Savras. It's very strange how this all came together, but it seemed to get Mayastin's attention. Mayastin came to me, clearly bothered, as she had been reading the book as well. She said she wished to further study this tome, but she needed to head to an expert, a faraway expert, in fact, before she could really understand it. And she did indeed leave."
How long ago?
It has been about a week since she left. You notice she slides the book towards you now, and she begins filtering through it, and she opens it to a page near the end that is filled with some writing. And she motions, kind of slides it upside so you guys can see it, and it looks like it is filled with a list of names in a half dozen different hands. Across the top of the page, in rush script that fills the rest of the book, is written the legend, "Those who have been bestowed the willing sacrifices." At the bottom of the page is Mayastin Sadar's name, followed by the names of each of you.
Brando, did you put our names in there?
No. Who is this Mayastin?
As I said, Mayastin is one of our sages, a fine sage here studying. I don't know if you have met her specifically, Brandel. She works in my area.
But what are our names doing here? I don't remember writing anything down in this book.
Nor I. Nor has anybody really had access to this tome other than Mayastin, and wherever it came before then. But the fact that your names are in here is very curious.
We didn't do it, and we're not paying for it, if that's what you're asking.
And you see she turns her attention towards you for a moment, Ranvan, who suddenly looks like Salamir. But looking towards Ranvan, you notice she kind of eyes you and says, "You'll find that I do not exactly have much patience for impertinence. So unless you have something to add that moves this conversation forward, perhaps you should keep that tongue from flapping. Now, as I was saying, I don't know how your names got in here. I suspected that you all would be just as curious about this fact as I am.
Uh, so this Maestas, you said that she read the book entirety. Did it affect her in any ill way?
I believe she did read the entire tome. As far as affect her, if you mean in some type of magical way or cause a change in behavior, no. But she was indeed bothered by what she had discovered. It seemed as though the information contained herein caused her to be very curious and want to further research. She didn't tell me that her name nor your names were in here.
What's the title of the book, Adam?
Yes, and you see she closes the cover so you can kind of read this in this really fine writing. It says, The Canopic Being is the name of the book.
Have I ever had a reference to that or heard about the chaotic being?
I don't think this one would even be a check. I'm just going to say no, but you can make a religion check to see if you know much about Savras.
Okay. Blind check, here it comes. Almost did it. Old school.
Yeah, so you've certainly heard of Savras before. Savras is known to be a god of mages and wizards, and is in service of Mystra, the goddess of magic. It is believed that she was once mortal and then gained godhood. Her titles are known as the All-Seeing, or I'm sorry, his titles are the All-Seeing, He of the Third Eye, and the Lord of Divination. He's often portrayed as a man with a crystalline face, clear to all who see him. It is said that when he speaks, his statements are very clear, concise, and rarely what the listener wished to hear. So basically, he was known to give bad information, perhaps, because he seemed to be, again, the all-seeing or having knowledge beyond what perhaps others do.
Can Leo, with Sylvis' permission, look and see if he can, like, I don't know, determine anything about the writing of our names? Like, does it match any of the other things, entries in there? Does it same handwriting? Does it look old or is it new?
You can, yeah. Go ahead and give me a Forger's Kit check, a blind check, and let me know if you have any special bonuses to this one. I'm not sure if the blind check will pick it up.
I don't. That is not one that I have.
So you're not proficient in.
No.
Okay, so this will just be
calligrapher's tools, but not forgery.
Okay, so this will be just a straight up intelligence check then. So looking at these names and reviewing them, seeing if you can make any determination as far as how old they are, if they were made by the same hand or not. It's hard to tell. There's definitely multiple writing styles in here, so not all of them are made by the same person, but you can't tell much beyond that.
Oh, very astute of you, Leo. They're different little styles in each of these. Not the same person wrote it down?
At least a couple of people had access to this at some point to write things in it.
Hey, Anna, how many names are written there? Thousands or dozens?
Probably closer to a dozen.
Any names that I recognize?
Yes, some of these, at least Myastin Sidar's name you would recognize. Let's see if you would recognize any of the rest of them. I don't think so. So just quickly reviewing this, you see the name Alessia Basir, Zemru Thal, Zarin Zoradius, Okuzor, and Myastin Sidar, and then each of your names in addition to that.
Sylvia, do you recognize these other names other than us? And of course, Maestro.
You see she kind of taps briefly towards the name Zemru Thal, and she says, I do think I've heard of him before. In fact, yes, I believe he is associated with the Temple of Savras. This is what I was sort of looking into, in addition to briefly reading the book myself. Yes, but I do not recognize the names of the others.
Um, all right. Well, I'd like to know kind of what's going on here. Do you have any suggestions on where or what we might start looking into to figure this out?
I do
So, Lyra?
indeed. Yes, I was hoping you would be interested in doing so. My thought was to send you to the same place that my Aston went.
That sounds like a good plan. His name is before us, right? Maybe he knows. Or they know.
Yes, my Aston, headed to this temple of Savras. It's known as the House of the All-Seeing Orb in Tashalar, east of Chult.
Oh, that's
Pretty
that's a
far
ways out.
away.
Yes, but luckily we have teleportation magic to assist with this act. If you're willing to head there, we can arrange for you to be teleported.
Can we use the teleportation circle to come back this time?
Unfortunately, no teleportation circles are allowed here inside of Candlekeep.
Can you tell me more about Maestra? Does she have a family? Has she just skirted off in the past and run away before, or do you think that she was, I don't know, arcanely or magically inclined to go? Do you think this book affected her in a way to go
I
look?
I do not. I'm more concerned about the content of the book, for you see, the book details dark rituals, as I explained, relating to the creation of a mummy lord. It's said that this mummy lord can use these rituals to store its own organs, normally stored in sacred canopic jars during mummification, but put them into living humanoids. The recipients of those organs then come under control of the mummy lord, either as living supplicants or as mindless golems through which the mummy lord can see and speak. There's also some mention in the book about some ritual that can free a servant after the mummy lord is destroyed, but it's not quite clear. Yes, and you can probably understand why I'm so concerned.
Well, yes, it sounds like our organs are marked for this ritual in some way. I mean, our names, canopic, being mummification. What are we? Vessels? This sounds gross.
But why would she run off to the temple?
That is a good question. I believe her name being in the book made her very curious as to what exactly was occurring, and the Temple of Savros being very dedicated to divination magic, perhaps she thought she could seek the leader there and divine the purpose of why her name was in the book.
Sounds rather rash.
Um,
How long ago did she leave now?
It's
right.
been about a week.
So, Vara, can we? I know you all have rules about copying books and everything, but could we take some notes on the part, even though it's not very clear on being able to remove this affliction, just in case something like that pops up while we're figuring this out?
I don't know if it would even help you. It simply suggests, in a very roundabout way, that there is a ritual that can free a servant after the mummy lord is destroyed, but it doesn't give any specifics.
Oh, it just says there is one, and that's it. Okay.
Well, it doesn't even do that. It simply states something to the effect of, this is permanent unless, and then kind of rambles on.
All right. Um, well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I think I'd like to pursue this because this is really scary sounding. Um, Silvera, you said you could help us get out to the temple.
I can arrange for teleportation for your group, yes.
Sylvia, Sylvia, uh, while we were in Baldur's Gate, sidetracked a bit, I noticed a scrying presence while we were at the the famed Helm and Cloak, which is, they say they're a 4-star restaurant, but they're actually more like 2.5 stars. The owner there just, anyway. And then with at the High House of Wonders, I sensed another scrying presence. This time, I picked out a figure in the orb. I wasn't able to pick it out. I wondered if this was in concert with our names written in the book. What are your thoughts?
That seems plausible, being that the House of the All-Seeing Orb is known to be directly associated with divination magic. I know that you are a practitioner of divination magic, Brandel, and quite competent and skilled, but these individuals, particularly the leadership of the All-Seeing Orb, while their ability to divine things rivals that of demigods.
Yes, quite powerful for sure. I am befuddled on why our names are in this book. I wonder if I should read it myself.
If you have the time to spare, though I must confess, as time has gone by and I have heard no response from Iaston, I've grown more and more concerned. There was this strange note that was sort of included as well, and yes, that is where I saw the name. Yes, let me see if I can find it. You see, she starts moving through some papers in a satchel. Ah, yes, here it is. And you see she brandishes this note and hands it over to you all.
Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense on why they went to this temple. Doesn't make very much sense for why the Semaru decided to be all gung ho about donating, but
Yeah, the whole gave Velen a piece of myself and receiving a piece of her in return.
hmm. Well, I don't think it would be the first time someone has been led astray by creatures or even gods, depending on interpretations.
Yes, this Valen Sarnaster, the name, as I said, it does ring a bell. I had heard of Zimru Thal before, but perhaps I was just remembering the name from this letter, this note. Valen Sarnaster, though, the Oracle of the All-Seeing Orb, as she is referred to, is supposedly one of the greatest diviners in all of Faerun.
Oh,
No chance we could arrange a meeting with her and talk to her, or is she missing too?
Well, she is not here. She is, of course, in the House of the All-Seeing Orb, over in Talishar and east of Chult.
it seems like everything leads to that place.
Yes, and perhaps you can see then why Myastin decided to go there first.
Okay, I mean we're plenty willing to help. Unfortunately, our uh, living is a little expensive, and the things we do are dangerous. So kind of, it's hard. You said not to waste time. So what's in it for us, really? What's the pay here?
And you see she looks towards you and takes her eyes off of you, Ranvan, and looks to Brandel, and she says, "Does this one speak for you, researcher?"
We are all one. Um, now that the little cat's out of the bag, I'm quite concerned about my own little problem I have. I'm sure you're aware that I come back with baggage from our saving El Terrell and ultimately Baldur's Gate. My soul is in the balance, my very being. If I were to die in this mission, my soul goes straight to the deeps of Avernus until I get to the bottom line of how to free my soul from the cults of Asmodeus. That is a pressing issue to me, my lady.
Brando, this could be, a good way to get out of that. If you have your organs, claimed by another being, then perhaps Asmodeus will let yours go.
Oh, that's disgusting. Who would want my organs anyway?
Or maybe you take one of theirs. It seems a little nebulous on who's getting what, but, it's something to consider.
Well, Sylvia, at least if I go to this, if we all go to this, you understand, time is taken away from me. At the very least, maybe you could help me. Can you edge me closer in how I might find Asmodeus cults, or know if there's any way to divorce myself from this cruel act of Asmodeus upon me?
I could offer either a gold coin reward for taking upon this task, though I had hoped, being an associate researcher here, you'd be willing to do it for the good of Candlekeep. Or, if coin is not to your liking, I do have some bit of information that may prove useful to you, Brandel. I believe I have located a convergence in the Hellfire portals, and it may actually be exactly what you need, though I don't like your odds of success, but that is beyond this scope of discussion. It would at least point you in the correct direction.
Well, at least you see what I'm sacrificing here. I'd be happy to help Candlekeep, but also the time I've taken away to research my own way. So any information you have would help. It would make me feel better of risking my life. But yes, I think if we're all in agreement, I'd be happy to go.
I'm glad to hear that. Yes, there is an ancient ritual that can actually call forth a guardian of souls from Avernus. If we are able to locate the particular guardian that holds yours, we could call him forth, but you would then have to either bargain or defeat him in order to reclaim your soul. And that is not an easy task. Bargaining, if you had anything else to give, would be far easier than defeating this opponent. If you are willing to look for Myestin and hopefully bring her back safely, I will direct you to where this location is.
Well, guys,
That sounds good to me, Brando.
We've got your back.
All good here. Let's go.
Lexi, is there something? Oh, she's in the box. Never mind.
You just hear her yelling through the box.
The box is shaking. Do I get to put on my devil fire belt? It's Satan.
Brando, maybe you can also wear that belt yourself, and then you will be, really strong, and you won't die as easily.
Well, if I only had a +2 quarterstaff.
And have everything you want.
Well, Sylvia, I think you have the fellowship of the book that is bad.
The Book Bad Patrol. I think we're trying that name out.
If there's any
Maybe
preparations that you must make, please do so now. I will meet you outside of the gatehouse in 2 hours' time. Will that be sufficient?
Well, can we get a long rest in 2 hours, Adam?
So you guys have had a week, so yes, you've all rested and everything.
I think that time frame is fine. I think I actually don't need anything off my top of my head, but
I'm gonna switch one spell. I want Spirit Weapon.
Yeah, you can do that. Spiritual weapon.
Can you click the button for us, Adam, real quick? Does that take a second?
I cannot, and I'll tell you why. Because we're probably going to end shortly here, because you guys will level up to 13. So once you guys level up to 13 and do all those applies, then I will go ahead and give you a long rest. Make sure you get everything tapped off.
that's totally worth waiting to click the button.
Yeah, that's what I was sort of holding off on it. So yeah, if there's any specific preparations you guys want to make, you can do so. Otherwise, we can go ahead and end a little bit early here, 10 minutes or so. Like I say, you guys will be leveling up to 13. So if there's any questions about the level up, definitely let me know. If you get any crazy new abilities and you're wondering how they work, just give me a heads up. As a particular reminder, if you get anything, all the spells are already accounted for, but if you get anything new that's going to have an effect roll that the enemies will need to, beat their checks and things, let me know so I can get that built into your sheets for you guys. But yeah, I think this is a good natural stopping point. Anybody have any questions or thoughts before we wrap up?
Well, good here.
So we'll wrap up. I'll put it in check. We're still in meeting with her. I'm a little closed on that. So
Yes,
if we want to ask her anything else next week, we could have the context.
You can, yeah. I'll just ask that you guys maybe discuss in Discord beforehand and get your questions prepped and ready to go. So next week when we start, we can try to get those through quickly and then jump right to the teleportation. So yeah, technically you guys would have leveled up right when you got back here, had your week of downtime, so you've been level 13 for a little while here, but wanted to try to just make sure this went smoothly. So yeah, just go ahead and level yourselves up to 13, and yes, if there's any questions, then we will pick up next week there.
Awesome. Great job, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Great session, buddy.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good job saving
Take care,
Marathon.
everyone.